MVP Sports Talk Radio live in Attleboro, Massachusetts, WARA studios. A little bit of money, because Bill Belichick is spending.
Yo.
Beep.
Yo.
Beep. You guys hear that? Beep. Beep. Oh, hold on. Brinks is here.
Hey.
Go to the loading dock.
Frick the Bruins. Frick the Celtics and their sucky play lately. Frick the Red Sox for their mediocrity and their mediocre expectations. Okay,
I don't know.
Let's dive
at full volume.
Mediocrity
into the past.
Mediocrity.
Right off the bat. Let's go.
Did somebody
listen?
But did somebody? Am I on? Can I hear myself?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Did somebody hurt Bill Belichick?
No,
Yeah,
no. This is like
no. True. What happened? We've waited. All right.
He needed to do
this. Is what he was planning.
This is what he needed to do.
This is, at least for me, 21 years in the making.
This is what he needed to do.
21 years I've waited for what this man has done.
This shook the NFL. Everyone was like, oh, look at Brady wins Super Bowl. They don't make playoffs. That's it. They're done. Count them out. Oh, my God. They re-signed Cam Newton. Look at the fools. They're done.
Which I called
And
weeks
then,
ago.
boom.
I continue to just pat myself on the back.
And then, boom. Drop some money truck on top of everybody. The entire NFL shook. You got Beckham, a famous double tight end setup. You're talking to maybe getting Fournette here in the
12
backfield.
personnel. That's it.
Crazy. You got the heaviest offensive line in the NFL.
He had no excuse going into this offseason. We said it.
Oh, yeah,
we said it. With all the cap room he has, with all the room he has to work with, and as soon as Monday comes, I mean, granted, free agency didn't start till today, but
yeah, but there's a legal
as soon as he gets into the tampering period, he was full steam ahead. He knew exactly who he wanted.
Didn't slow down.
He knew exactly who to go get, and he knew exactly the contracts he was going to give him.
Yep.
Right off the bat.
The only thing I was surprised by was Hunter Henry getting a little less than Geno Smith, but I mean, overall, most of the contracts I think are great.
Well, I think Smith personally is a better tight end.
I mean, I think he paid Smith more because Smith's also a force. You're going to have a good blocker. You're going to have a good break off, delayed fade route with him. You're going to get a little more tang out of him. Less injury prone.
Smith is Gronk.
No.
Henry is...
No.
Well, if you're making the...
Smith's Hernandez.
No, Smith's Hernandez.
Henry's
Smith
Gronk.
is bigger, though.
Yeah, but
Smith is like...
And
I'm telling you, right? All right. Like, you go back and you watch... what year was it? Was it 2012, I believe, or 2011? And you watched Hernandez, then the formations as a running back, getting the jet passes. That's going to be Smith's game, man. That's not going to be Henry. That's going to be Smith.
Yeah, Smith's a force to take down.
And you know what? Personally, I think if Hernandez didn't go and do the stupid crap that he did, and obviously we all know the story, I think that realistically he had a real opportunity to be better than Gronk, just because of the matchup.
As a receiver,
but I mean statistically wise, as far as touchdowns and yards and things like that, his stats would have been better than Gronk,
yeah, and
without a doubt.
Smith's going to be more targeted. I think Henry with injuries, he hasn't had a full season yet since he signed in the NFL. I think they're probably going to not baby him, but he'll get a little less attempts and passes than you'd see out of Smith. I think so, out of just health reasons. And you know what I mean? You protect your assets. But, man, I thought it was going to be a dud offensive year, and we were just going to rely on defense out of the gate, heavy defensive signings. You had, obviously, Geno Smith is the first... What was it, the first signing of the day? I can't remember now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So at first he thought he was going all offense, and then he flipped totally defense.
And then you got Judon, and you got that guy from Miami.
Yeah.
No.
You signed Jalen Mills.
Yeah, but you have the two receivers in there.
Yeah, but they were at the end of the day.
And then you had
it was Aguilar, and then Bourne came in at
Aguilar,
7 p.m.
Yeah.
And then Hunter Henry was the following morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it went from tight end. So at my point, I'm like, oh my God, he's gonna go offense, and then it just went defense the entire rest of the day up until wide
So we can
receivers.
add some structure. Who's the most important out of all these signings?
Probably most important piece.
Yeah, it's Judon for me.
I'd say Judon. You need a pass rush.
You need
you watch
that front seven.
Here's why, right? You saw what pass rush does to a team like Kansas City. Arguably the best offense in the NFL, high caliber team, Super Bowl champ, attempting to redo it again to back. Dominated Tampa the first time they met. Dominated majority of the league, aside from an in-division 2 losses to the Chargers, one of which Mahomes didn't play. Aside from that, they were an undefeated football club. And Tampa Bay made them look pathetic. I mean, pass rush was everything. Granted, they don't have a healthy offensive line at the end of the year, but a lot of that is from playing a lot of heavy pass rush teams. You'll get, when some of these offensive guys went down, Saints, Green Bay, big games that you see KC play, a lot of pass rush teams that beat up those linemen. So, to me, that's huge. Getting a D tackle. I think they knew Butler was gone. Was all right with Butler. But I love all the defensive signings. Obviously, tight end's huge, man. But
I still think the tight end's the most important part. I think that unlocks your offense.
I don't know.
We had pass rushers, man. We had them.
Who?
We had, dude, Dietrich Wise, he's not like a household name, but he does just fine.
Yeah, he does fine, which is why he's back. He earned his contract.
Our biggest issue last year was we couldn't throw the ball to anybody. 1, because Cam couldn't throw, and 2, because we just didn't flat out have any weapons. That's the key to your offense. Think about it. Like let's seriously think about this for a minute. Now teams don't just come in and just go, okay, we got to stop Cam Newton in the run. That's it. That's all teams had to do last year. They could go man-to-man across the board, stack 8 defenders in the box, and shut down the run game. Once you shut down the run game, you beat the Pats. Now,
now you can't. Now you
12 personnel. You can't. Good luck, because when you put 12 personnel out there, the 2 tight ends way too quick for your linebackers.
And you really,
if you want to come in and put corners in there, we're going to throw the ball up and we're going to let them just abuse the fade pass.
We're realists on this show, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to be the bad guy.
Be the bad guy.
Great free agent signings.
Yeah.
I love what Bill's done.
Yep.
I'm not going to lie. You still don't have a quarterback.
No, you do.
I think you do.
Still don't have a quarterback.
I think you do.
I think you do.
Cam hasn't had a solid season since his MVP season.
Debatable.
Period.
Debatable.
He had 8 passing touchdowns last year.
Debatable.
Yeah,
but who was he passing to? Okay.
All right, so realistically, put the weapons in there.
So hold on. So time out. So
put the weapons in there.
No, but hold on.
Hold
on. Up until what week did Edelman get hurt? Week 3? It was against the Raiders, right?
Hurt in 3, but I think he played into 3.
Yeah, and then he was like 4.
Okay.
How many touchdowns did he throw in the first 2 weeks?
I don't know. You tell me.
Look it up.
I mean, that was Edelman's biggest game of the year.
So
of his career.
Of
his career.
It wasn't week 3, because week 3 Cam didn't play because he had COVID. Week 4 was against the Broncos.
So he got hurt week 2.
No, week 4 was against the Raiders. Week 2 was the Seahawks game that Edelman got hurt.
I knew I should have brought my
I'm telling you, the problem is, and aside from, I believe he had 3 touchdowns in the last game. He had 2 or 3 in the last game against the Jets, which it's the Jets. There's no weapons. Like, N'Keal Harry is not a weapon to me. N'Keal Harry is just a spot filler on the field.
I'm not even going to count Week 17 against the Jets where he threw for 3 touchdowns. So let's diminish
5.
it to 5.
Okay, fine.
5 passing touchdowns.
Even worse.
He can't throw, man.
I don't think it... All right, listen. If you're going to tell me that he could miss every single throw, that there was no receptions, that the receivers were getting upset that the ball was being on their thrown, then maybe you have a case there. But you don't.
That's it.
You don't.
Here's my problem.
What do you mean I don't?
Who's he throwing to?
Have you watched the tape?
Who's he throwing to?
Here's my problem.
Have you watched the tape?
I have. Who's he throwing to?
It doesn't matter who he's throwing to.
What do you mean?
When the receivers are open, he's missing them.
No.
So you can. So here's my thing. You can make the argument that he has no weapons, which I agree with.
Okay.
One of the worst weapons last year. I get that. But when those weapons were open, he missed them. You watched the tape, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So when he throws dirt balls constantly, consistently, week after week.
So let me ask you a question.
And overthrows guys week after week and has no touch on his throws at all.
So let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
That's a concern to me. I do not trust Cam.
All right, so hear me out. Wes Welker in the Super Bowl. Do we blame Tom Brady for him dropping the pass, or do we blame Wes Welker for dropping the pass? Okay. Let's be real here. Just be real with me.
For dropping the pass?
For dropping the pass that was in his hands.
Yeah.
Who do we blame?
It's one play, but Welker.
Okay. So why do we continue to put all the pressure of, I get the dirt balls, but I also seen passes where, the ball was at the feet or, the ball was just shy. Why don't we blame the receiver for the comeback route? The receiver's got to adjust to the ball, right?
For what comeback?
For all the passes that, I shouldn't even say all of them because I can't put them all on one player, but for passes that were short of the receiver, right, that were towards the feet or whatever, why are we not blaming the receiver for going back to the ball?
For going back to the ball?
Every other good receiver in this league,
Because
you see
it
them,
needs to
they
be in
work
a better spot.
Every single other receiver in this league, all the big names, all the Julios, all the Jujus, they work back towards the ball.
Yeah, but you can't
You
win
can't
in this
expect the
league.
ball to be in your mitts every
It's
time.
2021. You're not going to win in this league without a top quarterback. You're not. You are not going to
agree with
compete in this league
I don't agree with that.
without a top quarterback.
So was Nick Foles a top quarterback?
At that time,
No.
the way he was playing in the
No.
playoffs,
He's not a top
Hold on,
quarterback.
do you
With the way that he was playing in the playoffs, absolutely.
I disagree.
No.
Absolutely.
No.
So,
In that playoffs.
No, they
in those
put a
playoffs,
better system in and
late
they
the
game
season,
plan.
Late in
And
the
they game
season.
plan.
Hold
And
on.
in those playoffs, you look up his stats, he's putting up top tier numbers.
no, Super Bowl. In the Super Bowl.
Cam Newton's not throwing for 300-400 yards.
the Super Bowl. Do you think Tom
debatable.
Brady had a go performance
In what?
in the Super Bowl?
Against the Rams?
No, against KC.
Against KC? He didn't need to.
No, the defense
He didn't
did.
need to.
The defense did.
Yeah,
They
so
controlled the
you
clock
need-
exactly
so
like I
your
said.
didn't
point,
need
so your
to.
points.
You need a game manager.
Yeah, but
points-
how are you going to get to the Super Bowl? That's my point.
What do you mean?
Getting to the Super Bowl.
Here's the
Hey,
thing.
Look at Mahomes'
Hold on.
stats. Look at Brady's
defense-
stats
Here's
leading
the
up
thing.
to it.
Defenses
Here
win
is the thing.
championships.
So let me tell you first off, right? Two things. Why? Look,
You're still a borderline playoff team.
hold on. Hear me
Borderline.
out. I could not wait for Newton to be gone. Couldn't wait for him to get here in the beginning of the year. End of the year, I was pissed. The problem, the thing I have now is, one, I trust Bill Belichick. He wouldn't go out and spend
I do too.
150, 160, $200 million and leave Cam Newton if he was worried. Two, Julian Edelman loves Newton. And he loves Brady. Julian Edelman will be the first one to tell you when he doesn't like somebody. So would 90% of the other Patriots in the organization or other players in the NFL, and yet they all stand behind him because clearly they know it's not him or it was just a rough year.
Let me ask you a question. What did Hunter Henry say in free agency? Where did he want to go?
To a real quarterback.
To a real quarterback, right? You think that Bill just called him
And
and,
he
said,
went to a bottom 5 quarterback.
"Okay, so do you really
the
think that?
league.
You really believe that?"
Doesn't make sense.
You don't think
really
you
believe
don't think
last
that
year.
you don't
You really
hold
believe
on.
that,
You don't think that Bill Belichick was like, listen, I know it looked rough. You know I love you. You know we've had a pretty good bond. I'm telling you right now, what you saw last year isn't him. You don't think he said that? Yeah.
Cam.
And you don't think Hunter was like, I'll take your word on that. Bill Belichick's not going to put his reputation out for Cam Newton. What does he have to Cam Newton? It's not Tom Brady. Tom Brady probably would have fell on spikes for 5-10 years
Right.
ago. Cam Newton, if he's putting his reputation on the line, I mean, maybe
Cam's not putting his reputation on the line.
No, I'm telling you,
I
it's
think
Bill.
he is
What
too.
I'm telling
No,
you is
Cam
Bill
definitely is
Belichick
too.
is.
Cam
Cam
definitely
Newton
is
is
too.
too. I mean, if he comes out and sucks again, he's done.
Cam has more pressure on him than ever before.
Yeah, so does Bill Belichick.
Coming
though.
into this season.
You can't talk this guy up, and you can't spend $200 million of Kraft's money and then be like, oh, well, I messed up and Cam does suck. He's putting all his eggs in the basket.
I don't know.
Unless
after
they
what
sign,
after what I've seen, like not just last year.
So here's your counter argument to last year. Again, this is another point I wanted to make. Is one thing is you're not coming out with a dynamic offense last year. You're running a scrum make believe offense.
It was a Brady offense. It was a Brady
What?
offense.
15.
It was a Brady offense. McDaniels already
14
said they didn't change it.
14 or 15 defenses that played against us. I mean, all they did was heavy man coverage, and then they ran spies over the top.
Stack the box.
Yeah, and you
Force
run
Cam to beat you.
and they ran spies over the top. So what did the spy do?
So I want to see you stack the box now.
What I want to see.
Stack the box against 12 personnel.
So especially
Now-
last year.
I mean,
Watch
now
get
you're-
abused.
in the beginning of the year where Cam had success. And then after a few weeks, defense figured it out how to beat
Exactly.
him, right? When you
Especially
stop
getting
the
rid of
run
Edelman.
and you stop that 12 personnel and you force Cam to beat you through the air, that's what I want to see.
You're playing. Cam Newton is a play action passer.
When you play Tampa next year, when you play Tampa at home,
That'll be the judge. They have their entire defense
That's what
that
I
beat
wanna
KC.
see.
That'll be your
that's
judge.
what I want to see.
What I'm telling you now is
And right now, I don't trust Cam to win that game. I don't
So-
trust Cam to win a game with his arm right now. I
Cam
don't.
Newton's best season as a passer was 2015, which I believe was his MVP year. And he did okay in 2018, which was the year before he got hurt. So for stats, he put up 3,837 yards, 35 touchdowns.
2018 or
This is 2015.
okay.
35 touchdowns, 10 picks with a 99.4% passer rating. 2018 was 3,395 yards, 24 touchdowns, 13 picks for a 94.2. So we can all agree 2015 Carolina was probably his best year, right?
Yeah.
Believe
So
that's
what was
the year.
Carolina's record in 2018?
So let's see. Hold on. All right. They were obviously number first in the NFC South. Okay. that was also the year that they went 15-1.
Yeah, to the Super Bowl.
Yep. So let's go into. Let's see. Okay, the roster. Your running back was Jonathan Stewart. Do we feel like
in 2015?
In 2015, this is the year they went to the Super Bowl.
That was him.
Do we
they
feel
had D'Angelo Williams that year
Do we
too.
feel that their running game is better?
Yeah.
This year?
Yep.
Than that year?
Yep.
No.
Okay.
You don't think so?
Offensive line from left to right: Michael Orr, Andrew Norwell, Ryan Khalil, Try Turner, and Mike Remmers. Do we believe that offensive line is better?
Comparable.
I think better.
You have
you ready for your receivers?
That Panthers O-line got you.
Yeah. You ready for your receivers?
In Carolina.
Ted Ginn Jr. Sounds a lot like Nelson Aguilar,
2015?
right? Yeah. Sounds a lot like Nelson Aguilar.
Ah.
Corey Brown.
Eh.
Who does he remind you of?
He's like a second, third option, maybe.
Yeah. But who does he
Second
remind you
at
of
best.
personally?
Bourne.
Corey
Just signed him.
Brown?
Thank you. A Bourne. I'm telling you, it's the same offensive
Bourne.
makeup. Tight ends, Ed Dixon and Greg Olson.
Why are you guys... Okay, so are we big on Kendrick Bourne here?
I like Kendrick Bourne.
No,
I
what
think,
I'm
I think
saying
that
is
he's
a formidable
He was the
option.
fourth option in that receiving game in San Francisco.
But look who else was there.
Different system.
Who else was there?
saying, like,
Who else
yeah,
was there?
But it's a different
I'm just
system.
saying.
Also-
he's a guy-
also-
you signed him for good money, but he has like
Okay,
There's something
but
to
Kendrick
prove there.
Bourne is in
Different
a
system. Jimmy Garoppolo.
Jimmy
Yeah,
Garoppolo
it's not a good
system.
quarterback for
It's
him.
not a Cam Newton system.
Okay.
Jimmy Garoppolo is not a speed option quarterback.
Yeah, but
Cam
Jimmy
Newton is
Garoppolo
a speed
throws the
option
ball a
quarterback.
whole lot better than Cam does.
But you're missing the point here. We don't need to throw the ball deep. We don't.
I'm not asking to
We
throw
don't.
the ball deep.
And I tell you right now, anyone who's thinking that the Patriots can come out and set offensive records because they have all these people,
I feel like
it's
Kendrick
not gonna
Bourne and
happen.
Jacoby Myers are pretty much the same person.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Absolutely.
No.
In terms of the tier of wide receiver
No.
that they're at, yeah.
Kendrick Bourne is way better than Jacoby Myers.
All right.
Myers goes to San Fran. He's fourth or fifth option.
So
At
was
best.
Bourne. So was Bourne.
Yes, exactly. But
Same thing.
Here,
That's my point.
here, Bourne
They're
is
the
going to
same
be your
tier.
number 3,
Okay.
and he'll probably be a decent number 3. He just doesn't work out there. He's not a
Who
stand in
was
the
Cam's
pocket.
top wideout in 2015?
Ginn,
Not
right?
named Greg Olson.
Ginn.
Again,
Or that
Ginn.
Ed Dixon, because believe it or not, I believe Ed Dixon had a better year than Olsen did. Let me tell you. Hold on.
he had to have gone to Newton. And who do you want?
No, he didn't. Sorry, that was my own stupidity.
Got a list of
Yeah,
got a
it's tight
shopping
end.
list.
It's listen again. Cam Newton is only good when he has tight ends. Do we know why that is?
I still don't trust him.
Do we know why that is?
Why is that, Tim?
Why do you think a tight end is good in a 12 personnel package with Cam Newton as your quarterback?
I don't know,
I
Tim.
wonder.
Tell me.
I wonder.
Why don't you tell me?
Maybe it's for the quick release pass. Maybe it's for the mismatch that it gives. We're not going to come in here slinging the ball down all across the field. This is not Randy Moss, take the top off the defense.
Right.
This is, we're going to control the clock, minimize turnovers, we're going to pound the ball,
Okay.
and we're going to look for short route release passes, and that's it.
All right.
We're not setting records here in New England. We're going to chase a championship.
So what happens when teams stop that? What
How you
happens
gonna
when
stop
teams
it?
game plan for
Good
that?
luck.
How you going to stop
What
it?
happens when teams game
How you
plan
gonna
for
stop
that?
it?
And they beat it.
How do you game
And they
plan,
force
though?
Cam.
So,
All right, but
And they
so
force
hold
Cam
on.
to
So
throw.
hold on. So when the Patriots had no receivers,
So you don't think
when the Patriots had no
that 12
receivers,
personnel in that Patriots offense can't be stopped?
I don't know.
no,
run
not
that.
with
Not with
Cam
good
Newton.
coaching.
There's
Really?
too many. There's too many pieces.
Okay.
There
You have
really
to
is.
stop the run game, then you have to stop Cam
Hold on,
Newton.
let's save this for
then you have to
after the
stop the
break.
two tight ends.
All
It's
right,
too
hit the
much.
break, hit the
We're going
break,
to double
hit
the
the break.
breaks. We got a minute, so all right, everyone,
Hit the
mellow
break.
down. After the break, we're going to come back into how do you stop or how are you unable to stop New England's offense.
I'm fired up. Let's go, Cam.
This is WARA 1320 AM. Don't forget to call in 508-222-1320. You can listen live or watch live, rather, on Facebook and WARA's YouTube channel, WARA 1320. Actually, sorry, I believe it's WARA AACS, something like that.
WACS?
AACS.
called Wax.
DOUBLE
Wax.
ACS.
Wax. S. Whack.
Whatever the channel
Yeehaw.
is. You can look it up. It'll come
Yeehaw.
up. On that note, we're taking the break. Stick around. We'll be back. Tons more to talk about. Don't go anywhere. MVP Sports Talk Radio, WARA Studios. We're back diving into Patriots offense. How do you beat them? Are you able to beat them?
I don't mean to cut you off, but I just want to say something. Shout out to my boy Papa Biden for that stimulus hitting today. Just want to say, Papa? All right, guys, Papa Biden hitting that stimulus today.
Hey,
you know what though? On that, I am the first to fly the new old glory.
The new old glory. The new old glory.
New old glory.
Oh God.
So I don't want to get too into political concepts on here, but Trump 2024. What?
On a serious note.
Back to it.
Back to it. I don't believe Drew will be in studio tonight, but we want to shout out his son Luke. Happy birthday, Luke.
Happy birthday, Luke, you're cooler than your daddy. Woo!
Yeah, he is. Both of his sons are all
Daddy
cooler
stinks.
We're going to get Luke in here for some sports jabba.
Mm-hmm.
But for real.
Better than his dad.
Yeah, back into it.
But for real, happy birthday, Luke. Drew, love you. Miss you.
All right.
Come on back.
Drew, I see you
Let's get into
those
it.
Beautiful selfies.
Get into it.
Let's get into it.
Probably
So,
getting cranked.
Here
Okay.
is how you don't beat.
Give me that 12 personnel and give me that Pats offense that is completely unstoppable, guys.
Whoa,
give it to me.
Not completely
I don't
unstoppable.
say completely.
All right,
but I will tell you.
Here is the point of
give
it.
me the point.
No,
here.
They're 3
point of
wins
it-
better than last year.
Because I'm not down to disagree here. I want to hear
what I'm saying.
I want to hear it.
Three
The
wins
key
better last year.
to an offense like that is you're
Okay.
always going to have either, a slower linebacker covering a threat.
Okay.
You're going to have
Henry and Jonnu, yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's impossible
Yep.
to effectively cover all the weapons with balanced defensive coverage. There will always be a man, if not two men, open or somewhat open that are your playmakers. The point of that offensive structure is to make a playmaker. So who your playmaker is obviously depends on the play, depends on defensive coverage, but we've seen it before. Bill Belichick knows how to get guys off, how to weaken guys. Your second, that sounds wrong, is heck.
I was just like, hey,
Sorry, I
Nick, you
picked
wanna,
my head up and looked
you
at
wanna
you.
try and think about what you're gonna say before you say it.
So,
Hey, you know what? You learn from Bob Craig.
Bill Belichick.
Orcas of Asia, baby.
Bill Belichick knows how to break coverage, get guys open,
It's hot in here.
It is hot.
how to get guys open, and how to adapt
All
after
this guys
halftime.
open talk.
So, come halftime, you're going to have a whole different vision of how we're going to move guys, what plays we're going to run that are effectively going to tear apart the defense. We've seen it before. It is why the Gronk Hernandez setup was great.
Yep.
It's why they've always tried to emulate it. They drafted 2 tight ends to get back into that, and clearly neither of them worked out, so now you have to pay. And whether they thought those 2 guys were going to be standouts, I don't know. But
I still think Ossie can be a factor here.
Dalton Keen's going to be the fullback.
You think they'll move Keen
Guarantee
to fullback?
Guarantee you.
Jakob. Not Jakob? No Jakob?
Nope.
Jakob's still here.
I don't
still
think
here.
so. I don't think he's going to. Listen.
I'd give Jakob, yeah.
I think that for the way the league's going, I think Dalton would make a lot of sense if you can get a little bit of weight on him. And he really impressed me as a pass blocker when he played.
A pass blocker.
Yeah, when he played.
That doesn't mean he'll play fullback.
I think he'll play fullback because he's going to be able to block. I'm telling you.
A fullback's more or less for the running game. though,
Yes, I
not
understand that. But what I'm telling you is him as a blocker as a whole, I was more impressed with than his tight end set.
Well, that's
And
kind of
look-
minuscule.
And look where you
we're trying to
drafted
talk
this guy.
about.
4th round. You think they're going to get rid of him this year? There's no way
Sure.
they carry. No.
Why not?
Come on, Ryan.
4th to 7th
Come on,
rounders.
he's got too much.
Come on, man.
There's too much value there that they're not going to get if they try to trade him.
Meh.
And they're not going to release him.
Meh.
No.
I kind of like the fullback call.
Telling you, he's going to be a fullback.
Meh.
You're going to get him
You'll
on a
see,
rollout.
man.
It's going to
You'll
be
see.
a fake give. He's going to roll out and block. He's going to be blocking behind 1, if not 2 of the best tight ends in the game. Newton's going to roll around the edge.
Listen, the
right
guy's
into
already wearing
Pater.
44. Okay? It makes sense.
Meh.
Makes sense.
All right, so I'm gonna
pump the brakes
I'm gonna
on
flip
that.
the question. So how do you
Flip it.
stop this offense? How do you stop the offense?
So here we have yet to see the offense.
Now,
right?
now put into
You sign
put into
all these
perspective.
guys.
You have We're not even going to say we have MVP Cam Newton. You have a formidable quarterback who can make the plays he needs to make when he needs to make them.
Formidable is debatable.
No, I'm saying for the sake of argument.
Such a hater.
I'm not a hater.
You're a hater.
No. I'm being realistic.
Everything we said,
realistic
but you're not,
here.
though.
I am.
But you're not.
I am.
So what happens when we get the Cam Newton?
How am I not being
So what
realistic?
happens when we get the Cam Newton from the first 2 weeks?
What has Cam Newton showed you to the fact where you can trust
that he doesn't have weapons
to be a vertical threat and to be reliable?
Why are you saying vertical threat?
So I have the
because at some point they're gonna stop.
Here is my
your
thing.
game
Let me
plan
make a point here.
on
All
offense.
Right? Nope. So I'd love to agree with you up and down. Generally, me and you agree pretty well, for the most part. So if it's not the weapons, then why in the year prior did Tom Brady have, aside from like passing yards and touchdowns, completion rates?
Yeah, we've already said this.
Everything
stats were similar,
identical.
Right.
Yeah, I know we said in the group chat, but the group chat isn't on air. Things that need to be said on air to bring to light to make points.
Yeah, we talked about it the other week we were in here. I brought it up.
Bring it on air.
But we all know, we're all knowledgeable enough to know that stats do not tell the entire story.
No, they don't. But
they don't.
No, but they tell a good part. They tell a good part. And the reason Brady left is they weren't spending money. They weren't getting weapons. He asked for weapons for the last 7 years.
So if they have similar stats, my question to you is, why was Brady 12-4?
Because
why was Cam
7-9? You had a great defense.
First off, you got off to a 7-0 start.
You had a fantastic defense that won you 7 games.
Number 2,
the guy's been in the system for 19 years.
Okay,
I wouldn't go that far.
He's been in the system for 19 years. He knows majority of the defenses. You heard it from Bruce Arians. He's essentially
the matter
a coach.
To me is the record.
So here's what I
and
argue
the performance late in games, which last year Cam proved that he can't perform late in games.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah,
did the Jets? Not really even the Jets.
And I'll even expand on that Cam point too, and say it's not just. I will be the first to say it is not on Cam. It's not all on Cam.
So did the Dolphins and the Bills get better last year compared to 2 years ago?
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's half your reason right there.
Right, and you didn't.
Yeah, exactly. You got worse. You lost talent.
Yes.
They lost their starting safety.
Because you went to Town Fair Tire with Cam Newton.
No.
You got a name brand at a discount price with Cam Newton.
No.
That's exactly what happened.
No, because you know what?
He was the last quarterback.
Even if you had Tom Brady in that offense last year, you didn't make the playoffs.
You still make the playoffs.
No, you didn't.
You absolutely.
You were not better than the Bills.
Tom Brady won the freaking Super Bowl.
You were not better. Yes, with a loaded team.
Right, and if you still...
There was no talent here, Ryan. There was nobody here. Hightower sat out. Chung sat out. You had no receivers.
My entire
broke
life
his leg the
savings.
6th time.
If Brady's on this team last year, we make a wild card.
No, I will bet you $100,000. I'll bet you my life.
Absolutely.
Breaking news, I got to cut off them in this argument. I hate to do it, but...
what is it?
Deshaun Watson is now on the verge of hitting the commissioner exempt list as 3 more women have come out against him for sexual assault allegations. The league is
we've got multiple women coming forward.
4 total now. 3 more came in today. The lawyer claims...
Isn't he married?
No. Listen, the guy went to Clemson, all right? There's probably someone right here in this state, and Nick knows what I'm talking about, that could probably give a bull crap excuse.
That's fact.
That's a hot take.
That's fact, Jack.
Wait a minute. So
that's a hot take for you.
So there's now 4 women.
4 total women. The article says 3 more come forward and claim that he sexually assaulted them.
I think that this is an inside job to get him released.
Are they at any point related or have any type of
I don't know any of them.
This is because an Antonio Brown situation.
This is just coming out as of 15 minutes ago. And
Antonio Brown, there was like physical, concrete evidence that he was.
Then why is he still a free man? So why is he still a free man?
Because he's in the NFL.
Why is he free though?
Why is Tyreek Hill
No one's
free?
above the law, right?
Why is Tyreek Hill free?
Because apparently his dumb wife told the cops to drop it.
Why is Ray Rice free?
Kareem Hunt?
I wouldn't really say Ray Rice is free.
Why is OJ free?
Yeah, but he's out of the league.
Why is OJ free?
Why is
Because if the glove does not fit, you must acquit.
Too many people.
Good luck doing that with Deshaun Watson.
Now's the perfect time to trade for Watson.
No, it's not. Because he's not going to play.
He's going to hit commissioner exempt.
Yeah.
You know what, though? I think he still gets paid.
It's 2021. Biden's in the White House.
That don't mean nothing.
Sexual assault is a big deal.
Please.
Okay.
It's always been a big deal.
Okay,
but
so
now it's
not
like,
to get
So
too political
why are we putting Kumo on the exempt list?
Hey! This is not a political show.
We can start for days.
Not a
What
political.
I'm saying
show.
is,
Anyways, I want to go back to our
Como is a
argument.
fine
back.
example.
Because I don't care about Deshaun Watson because he doesn't affect
It's a
the
hot
Pats.
market. It's a big
Backtrack.
deal.
Let's
4 women
backtrack here.
total.
Well,
He
let's
could
backtrack
go on
here.
the
Deshaun
exempt
Watson
list.
doesn't affect the Pats.
I totally forgot what I was saying.
We were arguing that you thought if Brady was on this team last year that you think that they would have been a
Yeah,
playoff
there's no
team.
doubt in my mind.
So
doubt in my mind.
okay, hold on.
We would have made the
So
playoffs.
you think that they're better
If
than
the
Buffalo?
Chicago Bears
Oh my god!
make the playoffs at 8-8.
Look who's in their division.
You make
Look who you were the third best team in your division.
Okay.
Tom Brady
Okay.
does not even put you in the
Okay.
top 2.
What do you mean?
He does not put you in the top 2.
In the top two of what?
Who is he going to throw to?
in the top 2.
Who is he going to throw to? He didn't like the Kill Harry from rookie year.
Who did he throw to the year before?
Edelman
he
blew
came
his
here?
Edelman.
Edelman.
Yes, Edelman's all he ever threw to.
Is Edelman really a top tier wideout?
Oh
a
my-
number?
no,
one?
and he was a top tier
All right,
wideout
thank
for
you.
us. That's the thing.
Okay. So
So
all
there
he
was
had
nobody to
Edelman.
throw to. Again, there's no weapons.
No weapons.
Look how he won the year before.
So-
did we pass
so
the
no
ball to win, or
weapons.
did we run the
No
ball
weapons.
to win?
Oh, you know what, Cam? You had no weapons. You were one of the worst quarterbacks in the league, but you had no weapons.
He didn't.
So you're fine.
He didn't.
So you're fine.
He didn't. He still ran the ball.
Meanwhile,
Still ran the ball.
Jason Tatum leads the team in every single category.
have weapons.
but it's his fault. But it's
They
his
have
fault.
weapons.
and he's underperforming.
They have weapons.
Makes sense.
Jalen
Makes
Brown,
sense. Makes sense.
Kemba Walker.
Makes sense.
Oh my God.
Makes sense.
Oh, I can't with you.
Makes sense.
You're on some other BS tonight.
I love triggering Tim.
Oh
Okay.
my goodness.
But
Tom Brady would not have brought you to
Can
the
I
Super
get to
Bowl.
a serious note though? Like,
No, can you
and-
admit that
I
Tom
got a
Brady
serious
wouldn't have
note.
made him a
I have-
playoff team?
No, he would have.
I have,
No,
a
he
serious,
absolutely
I have a
would've.
serious note, though. We got to take a break. We'll be back.
Again?
By the
So
way,
you're telling me that
Again?
one
Right,
already?
Real quick.
Already?
Real quick.
3 teams would have came out of the AFC
Real
East.
quick. Tom Brady easily would have brought this team to the play. He would have won the Bills game.
No, he wouldn't
They would have
have.
won the Bills game.
No.
Bro, they're down 2.
Look at the plays that were made in that game.
Bro,
Look at the
Bills game,
God.
they would have
That
won the
entire
Bills
last drive.
He okay.
They
That
would've won the
Seahawks
Bills game.
game, no.
Seahawks
Bills game, no.
Arguable.
No.
Okay,
What?
Bills game.
Guys,
What
I
happened-
can't even lower your
what
mics
hap-
almost anymore.
Tim,
Oh my God.
What
I gotta
happened?
go. I
Tim,
quit the show.
What happened in the Bills game? What happened? What happened in the Bills
Yeah,
game?
but the Bills game, 90% of the
Huh?
offense.
What happened in the Bills game?
I quit. I
Did
wanna
Cam
be
Newton
co-host.
choke? Did Cam Newton choke and fumble the ball in the Bills game?
He
Yes
did,
or no?
but Brady wouldn't have
Thank
made
you.
that final drive.
He wouldn't have.
Hold on.
What?
Wait a minute. Where was
That
Cam?
final
Where was
drive.
Cam?
That final
Where was
Brady
Cam?
wouldn't have made that
Where was
final
Cam? Was
drive.
he
The
in the
final
pocket?
drive was all
He
runs.
wouldn't have made that
All
final
runs.
drive.
It was all
It would have been
quarterbacks.
called
No.
differently.
Was he in the pocket when he fumbled, or was he out of the pocket?
Y'all are crazy.
Was he
if
in the
you
pocket
don't
or out of the
think
pocket?
With Brady instead of Cam last year, we would have made the
No,
playoffs.
you wouldn't have.
We absolutely would have.
You wouldn't have.
Tell me what year that Brady was here
you
that they
wouldn't have?
didn't make the
Dude,
playoffs.
You're not understanding something.
You wouldn't have because you needed
Please.
13 wins last year.
You're not.
No, you didn't.
Yes, you did.
No,
You did.
13
You needed 13 wins to get in last year.
to get into the playoffs in the AFC.
How many wins did the Buffalo Bills
Are
have?
you kidding me?
How many
Are
wins
you
did the Buffalo
kidding
Bills
me
have?
right
How many
now?
wins did the Buffalo Bills have?
Okay, y'all are really delusional right
How
now. What are
many
you
wins-
talking about?
Pull it up.
You would have been better than Miami,
No, you wouldn't
who
have.
was on the verge of the playoffs. Oh, absolutely.
Pull it
Who
up.
was the 7th seed to make the playoffs in the AFC? And tell me the record. Y'all are crazy. If you don't think if Tom Brady was on this team, did Tom Brady ever miss the playoffs?
Okay, so let me ask you
a
a question.
year he played for the Patriots.
So let me ask you a question.
Let me ask you
no,
that.
No, let me ask you a question. If Tom Brady's so good, how come he couldn't beat the Tennessee Titans?
What, in the playoffs? In the playoffs.
Yep. Why couldn't he do it?
So that's not my point here.
But no,
that's
but
not
that-
our
but that's
point.
my thing, though.
This isn't our
That's
point.
my thing, though.
This is an
But that's
entirely
my
different
thing. It's not.
different question
It's
that you're
not.
asking me.
It's not.
It is.
If he's that good with the same team,
our
why couldn't
argument
he beat
here,
Tennessee?
our debate here, Tim, you need to listen. You don't listen.
Because what I'm telling you
You're
is
not listening.
he would have picked up where he left off with
So
Tennessee.
he didn't beat the
and
Titans.
he would have had a
Was that
crappy-
Titans game in the playoffs, Tim? Yes or no? Did Tom Brady get them to the playoffs that year? Yes. Our question is, if Tom Brady is the Patriots quarterback last year instead of Cam Newton, do they make the playoffs?
Okay, so
absolutely.
hold on. So your 7th seed was 11-5. So you mean to tell me that Tom Brady gets you 4 more wins? Where?
Debatable.
Which games? Which games?
Yes.
Which games?
I think so.
Which games?
Who was
Seattle?
that? What team was that?
Indy.
Buffalo?
You don't win in Seattle with Tom Brady. You don't. Look at the plays that Cam made. It's fact.
Yeah, he threw.
It's fact.
So Tom Brady can't make those throws?
No. you are on some other
So Cam Newton's a better thrower than Tom Brady?
Who would he have thrown to?
What do you mean who are you throwing to? Tom Brady makes all of those throws.
Look how many of those plays Cam extended with his legs.
If you don't... You guys are crazy.
I'm not crazy.
If you don't think Tom Brady makes the playoffs...
No.
I am a realist.
No. Tom Brady made the playoffs because he went to a stacked Tampa team, which I said from the beginning had loaded
and
with
they won the Super Bowl.
And this is the reason why Brady wanted to leave here, because he couldn't win without weapons. This is why he didn't re-sign here.
Minus the drama that happened.
But there was drama for a reason.
Here's my point. Name me one season that Tom Brady was a Patriot where they missed the playoffs. You can't. There isn't one. There isn't one.
2008.
Yeah, when he got injured.
Well, you asked me to give
when
you
he
one
didn't
season,
play.
so I gave it to you.
When he didn't play.
I gave it to you.
And they still finished 11-5,
and
guy.
they still didn't make the playoffs.
And he didn't play.
On a serious note, you're delusional.
Give me a full season that Tom Brady plays and he didn't make the playoffs.
We know that he made it every year. But okay.
Dude, that's game, set, match, bro.
No, it's not.
It's done.
No, it's not. First off, you're almost
guaranteed.
It's game, set,
match.
Brady could have played that whole season every year with one foot in his bed and still made the playoffs because Buffalo couldn't put together a drive to save their life.
They still would have been.
The New York Jets were the butt cheeks of the NFL.
You know what? I'll give you.
And Miami didn't even know they were even an NFL football team.
I'll give your delusional ass a benefit of the doubt here. They were
running the Wildcat.
Okay? I'll give your delusional ass a benefit of the doubt here.
Oh my
all right?
goodness.
They still would have had a better... Even if they don't make the playoffs last year with Brady.
They don't win.
They still have a better record. Plain and simple.
No, they don't.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't think so.
You're crazy.
I don't think so.
It's not even worth arguing with him.
I don't think
It's really not.
I think you're too bought into the
It's
hype of Tom Brady.
Too bought into the hype of Tom Brady that
you
were on all year because you hopped on the Bucs bandwagon.
He had a team.
He hopped on the Bucs bandwagon.
Yeah,
all year.
Here we go. Yeah, bandwagon.
It's exactly what happened.
Yeah, bandwagon.
You were all about the Bucs. You were all about Tom Brady and how Tom Brady changed the culture. We were all talking about it. Now he's down in Brady. Now he's degrading him.
I'm saying that
now
Brady
he's discrediting
went to
him.
a team. Don't
now
put
he's
words
discrediting
in my mouth.
him.
Don't put words in my mouth.
It's exactly what you.
It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying Brady would not have won here because he had no weapons. Brady won in Tampa because he would have
had a better record.
Look at what it took for him to win.
And I still think he would have made the playoffs.
Leonard Fournette, Rojo, Mike Evans, Gronk, O.J. Howard for half the season, Antonio Brown.
Okay.
Weapons,
and they won the Super Bowl.
Chris Godwin. They're not here in New England.
And I still think he makes the playoffs in the Patriots.
With who? Because you wanted him to,
his name is Tom Brady.
You wanted Tom Brady to carry this team because they couldn't afford to get weapons, which is the reason why he left in the first place. Because if they could, he probably wouldn't have left.
See, now
and
you're
you think that
words
they
in my
would have came in, and oh my God, it's Tom Brady. He's going to carry this the whole way.
And like I said, dude,
no,
I give you the benefit of the doubt. Even if they don't make the playoffs, they're still better than 7-9.
I don't think so.
Absolutely.
I don't think so.
Absolutely.
I don't think so.
I think you're giving that defense too much credit.
Way too much.
You're contradicting yourself.
Dude,
exactly what you said a month ago.
If the Patriots
yourself.
didn't have as stacked of a defense that they had the year that Tom Brady was here when they went 7-0, they wouldn't have even been in the playoffs.
Explain to me this.
There was nobody to throw to.
Explain to me this. How a month ago you can say how Brady changed the culture in Tampa.
Because he
did. How he was the single most important factor as to why that team won the Super Bowl, got to the playoffs, and changed the culture. And now today, you're saying that he would absolutely have nothing to do with that with the Patriots last year.
Did Tom Brady?
You're contradicting yourself.
I'm not. Did Tom Brady have talent when he went to Tampa Bay?
Are.
Did Tom Brady have talent when he went to Tampa Bay?
Yes, and he could have had talent.
Okay, so there it is. But he didn't.
No, because
they didn't have talent last year either.
He didn't have the opportunity.
Tom
Brady? Because he's the quarterback. He's the player. He's the player. He doesn't run the league.
What does culture have to...
Didn't we just talk about a few weeks ago how this is a players-run league now?
What does culture have to do with winning football, though?
Everything.
No.
Almost everything.
The culture was already here in New England. He brought culture to there.
Yes.
That has nothing to do with him as
it has a lot
quarterback.
To do with it.
It's him as a leader. No one's saying Tom
Brady.
So
I forgot that Tom Brady would have 2 rushing touchdowns against Seattle. I forgot. You're right.
No one is saying Tom Brady's a bad quarterback. He's a great leader. He came out with an average Super Bowl performance, and he didn't need to come out with a better one. He had a great defense. He had great weapons. That's why he wanted to go there. He begged for that in New England and did not get it. He wouldn't have won maybe he would have got to the wild card. But the year before, they had a better team and lost to the Titans in.
You legit forget about when I sat there and said that Jameis Winston could have brought this team to the playoffs had he not had 30 turnovers. Jameis Winston's not a bad quarterback. The problem is he can't control the ball. So, no, I don't think the Bucs only won because Tom Brady went there. I think he elevated them, and Brady had a Brady-like performance, but Brady went to a team that had talent.
Here's my thing.
He didn't go there and say, oh, let me start getting all these people to come in. Regardless whether Antonio Brown or Leonard Fournette went there, they still had a solid team.
Fournette and Brown wouldn't have gone there if Brady wasn't there.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, that's a Brady
That's
factor.
exactly what I'm saying.
Leader compared to player, two different things. He's a leader.
But who was coming here?
To him.
Who was coming here when he was here? Nobody, because they couldn't afford it. They couldn't.
I'm not saying he's a bad
around
player.
him.
What I'm saying is he's a bigger leader. People flock to him. People play behind him. People believe in him. Chris Godwin just took a freaking pay cut to play there.
And I'm not disagreeing with any of your
Mike
points
Evans
that you're
took
making
a pay
right
cut
now.
to play there.
I'm
I'm
disagreeing
saying
with the fact that this Patriots team this past season
I got a
would
question
have
for
been
you.
better with Tom Brady instead
It probably
of Cam
would have
Newton.
been
Plain and
probably
simple.
would have been damn near the same.
I
Maybe
still
another
think they
win.
would have made the
so here's
playoffs.
the thing I ask you now: what was better about the 2020 team than the 2019 team?
Than the 2019
Nothing.
team?
They had
Nothing.
it worse. So
Same team.
half the
not the same
defense,
team.
way worse.
It was actually worse.
Way worse defensively.
team.
You lost Julian Edelman, who's Tom Brady's biggest guy, his go-to guy.
You lost your starting linebacker, your signal caller. You lost your top safety.
You played
lost
musical
a solid
chairs.
lineman.
You played musical chairs
You
on the
lost
O-line.
two of your special teams players.
You know,
It's a
these
complete
this,
different team.
Side note, this talk is actually getting more viewers, so let's keep it going.
Yeah, well, I'm spitting all facts.
Hey,
so I don't know what to tell
yeah,
you.
so am I.
We got a break on the verge. What I'm saying
Hit
is 2019, you had a much better team. You had one of the best defenses
I
at
wouldn't
the
say
time.
much better.
Much
I
better.
wouldn't say much
the
better.
first 7 games were all won defensively. They're defensive games.
No, your defense was 10 times better than 2020.
The first 7 games were defensive wins. The problem was you couldn't rely on a defense for 18 weeks. And they got to the Titans in round 1, and they got beat in the wild card.
They got
Don't-
mentally
like
So-
crap.
They got mentally torn up
right.
when they played Baltimore.
So if we look,
We're
I'm
exposed.
just gonna. Is the break here?
Yeah, we're going to take the break if you want to look something up. So all those watching, stick around. Tim and Ryan always
I'm gonna take my
argue
blood
back
pressure
and forth.
medication.
He's got to go take his lisinopril. So call back 508-222-1320. Don't go anywhere.
Fun.
Welcome back, MVP Sports Talk.
Hey, I can give a quick shout out, my man at home listening. Say my man sounds kind of wrong. I think we're just doing the whole guy thing wrong tonight. But shout out
The whole
to
guy thing.
to the homie Brian,
Amy and Brian.
the two homies chiming in, supporting, loving it.
Maybe 9-7, week 8, Buffalo, week 11. Okay, I literally just pulled the schedule up just to kind of go through it.
Okay, let's go through it. No, I did the same. So
you know what?
Let's
Just be calm. Let's just be
right.
calm, collected.
Not
Yeah,
blow
we
up
can
the
get
speakers.
fired up.
Let's not get fired up, Tim.
At one point, I
because
swear
I'm
I
triggering
had
you
you
with
guys.
facts.
You
Let's
had
not-
me all the way
let's not-
down.
I had you guys all the way
Because
down.
I could
and it
hear
was
it.
still
Gosh.
almost
Jacked.
spiking.
We're spiking still.
Well, Ryan's
All right,
problem too is
I'll
when
pull
he gets
back.
he gets in like this,
I'll
but
pull
so it's
back.
real
Let me
loud.
just pull out here. All right, what do you got?
All right. So Seattle game, different type of style game. Whatever, I'll give you that one.
Cam Newton's best game.
I'll give you that one.
Best game.
I'll give you that one.
All right, but hold on. But before you give me that, can you just agree that if Tom Brady's in that game, at that last drive, we don't win?
No, I won't agree with that.
So
If you're in the similar
so
spot,
you think we win?
if you're in a similar spot, I don't know.
With all
I
the
think
plays,
you have.
Like I honestly, the next break or the top of the hour break.
I don't like the play calling.
No,
on that last play.
But on the break, I want you to watch that last drive, and I want you to tell me how many plays that Cam makes that you know that Tom couldn't make.
Well, it would have been called differently. That entire drive would have been called different. Tom and Cam are completely different quarterbacks.
I understand.
So
that.
the play calling would change,
that.
obviously.
But what I'm telling you is, given the
And I'm giving you that game anyway.
But given the offense that we have, Tom doesn't change that game.
Possibly. I'm not going to necessarily say that.
I think Cam made too many plays on his feet.
Kansas City. That's the first game I'm going to point out. Okay.
Well,
Cam had COVID. I get that. I get that.
Okay.
So in that Kansas City game, if Tom's here, and if Tom
I'll give you that
presumably does not catch COVID,
No, I'll
right?
give you that one.
And the way we game planned for that game and how close it was.
But you also needed Pat Mahomes go down
right?
with an injury. You also needed Pat Mahomes go down with an injury.
Did he?
Didn't he go down with an injury?
No,
that
he
game?
did not.
What happened that
he
game?
just had a crappy game. We game planned well.
Supposed to be out, I think, and then he wasn't. Right? He got
No, he
COVID
played.
before.
He played.
But I thought he was on the verge of COVID or something.
I don't
And he
know.
cleared right before.
I thought it was after the fact.
Someone got hurt in the second half. of
Okay,
that game.
here's my big one. Denver.
Yeah, that game was terrible.
Brady's here. They win that Denver game. San Francisco. That's another one
I think the San
where
Francisco
you
was
just
hot.
got railed
Yeah.
by San Fran
But I mean,
altogether.
I put a lot of that game on the defense, though, too.
I don't think Brady allows that to happen, though.
Yeah, but you'd have to get in a shootout.
I just don't. I really don't.
problem was
Like,
this-
so if Brady's the quarterback in that game,
Yeah, but
it's a completely different.
Here's the problem, though. And, I get what you're saying. And I get Tom Brady's great. Tom Brady is as good as his weapons bring him because, unlike Cam, Tom Brady's ability is to find the open man, find the mismatch. You know what I mean? Read the defense and know. The problem you had was you had Bird, you had Myers. I mean, you had guys that no one knew who they were going against some of the best corners in the game, some of the best defenses in the game.
Okay.
Coaches like Pete Carroll, right? So here, and then, I mean, you know how San Fran's defense coordinator was.
Right, so Cam didn't have weapons, right?
No, so
Brady-
what I'm saying is, you're not going to get a mismatch, right? So, yeah, Brady's great, but he can't throw to Myers if Myers isn't open.
Right.
It's just
Yeah, I'm with
the
you.
coverage was
course.
too hard. On
What, in the
two
San Francisco
rookie
game?
on 90% of the games, the coverage was just too hard on 90%.
I don't know. There's quite a bit of tape that I've seen where the receivers are running wide
There's gonna
open,
be times
and
where they're
Cam
wide
has
open.
missed a lot
There'll be times where
consistently.
it's wide open. What I'm saying
Consistently.
is there isn't enough dynamic in that offense for Brady's experience and what he's good at to shine through. That's
Okay.
my perspective.
San Francisco game completely. Buffalo.
He almost won you that game.
Absolutely, you win that game.
He almost won you that game.
Yeah, till he fumbled.
Yeah, where was the fumble?
And he still only. Yeah, in the red zone was the fumble.
Yeah, but where, though? Like,
In the red zone.
in the pocket, on the run?
In the red zone. On the
pocket,
run.
or on the, okay.
You still fumbled the ball and you choked the game away.
Yeah, but that game was about to be won on run. They
I
could
mean-
not. They were shutting down your pass play. You were going to lose that game. They flipped it around. They started running outside.
So this is
trick plays.
giving you Seattle, that's still 1-2. That's 3 more
You gotta
wins
give-
already.
And you got to give
Possibly 4.
You're not winning Buffalo. The way they beat.
So you think they're going to sweep Buffalo?
No, because
the way-
week 16 they lost 38 to freaking 9.
the way they beat Buffalo? I mean, almost beat Buffalo was solely based on running Cam Newton style that they hadn't seen yet.
That was the game
They
in
were
Buffalo,
obliterating
too.
all the pass plays, all the routes, everything, perfect coverage. Then you had to adapt and start.
I mean, we watched that game at where was it?
Parker's.
Yeah, and Cam had a terrible game.
In the first half.
So, I mean, Brady on that final drive.
Hold on. What game was that? Buffalo?
Yeah,
Was that here?
at Buffalo.
At Buffalo.
Yeah.
I definitely give you the Denver game because that was when Hoyer botched.
Then
the
you
red zone.
beat the Jets in Baltimore, and then Houston. Houston's another one. Houston's another big one.
But here's the thing, though. You're also bringing up games where Cam Newton makes one play, and you got 4 more wins.
So here's Houston.
So I can't really say that if you have Brady, the
Rams,
guaranteed to win that.
Miami,
totally executed.
Mahomes turf
there's-
I think was later. In
So
the
we're arguably here, where you could debate it. We're talking 5 more wins on the board already, and I'm not even halfway through the schedule, guys. That's my point.
I think you're overselling the game.
Correct. Because again,
Overselling?
It's
Yes,
easy to sit
because
here
again,
and be like, oh yeah, it would be
Because again,
it's easy to say shoulda, coulda, woulda, but guess what? You don't.
sure, yeah,
And,
I'm not.
and,
Yeah,
and what I also
I'm with
say
you.
And if
is
you're-
you're
I'm with
also
you.
you're also 1 or 2 more plays made by Cam Newton. A
Right.
team
And here's
win.
the other
That he
thing.
hasn't made
I mean,
Here's-
think about it.
years.
Here's the other
Okay,
thing,
but
too.
guess what? He's also had the whole offense. On
I
him.
do not.
Who last year showed up outside of Cam Newton?
Who showed up last year?
Yeah, who showed up?
Myers showed up.
No,
I
come
would
on.
say-
Given the
I'm talking
given
about,
the opportunities he was
I'm
given.
talking about you looked at him and been like, wow.
Given the
I would say
opportunities,
Julian
Jacoby
Edelman.
Myers.
I would say Julian Edelman.
Julian Edelman played. not even
Edelman
a
played
quarter of
3
the
weeks.
season. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, all right.
Edelman.
Had a
Okay.
hell of a
Who?
game.
Damian Harris.
Had the best game of his
Who
career
on the
against
offense?
Seattle.
Who on the
Yeah, those are
offense
now.
did you look at and go, wow?
I haven't got to my past
Probably
Cam point yet
Wanu.
either. But we're
some
we're
linemen.
sticking to it.
I'm
Offensive
talking about
line.
offensive playmakers. Where you're like, yeah, that guy won this game.
That guy won us
Yeah.
the game.
Yeah.
Burkhead.
Burkhead's up there. Damian
Which game?
Harris won us a couple
Which
games.
game?
Burkhead though, because in the beginning of the season I said
What was the game where he went off for 100+ yards? It was one of those solid. It was right after Drew made the
was it
point.
Buffalo.
No, it was a win.
I don't remember. Was it Baltimore? It might have been Baltimore.
Might have been
Check
Baltimore.
the Baltimore stats. But no, I mean, I had said from early on, every game that Burkhead didn't play, because I know he had injury or illness or whatever, the games that Burkhead didn't play, we were losing. And
Well, Burkhead's probably not coming back this year.
so, well, I know that. But what you asked the question, I'm answering it. Burkhead.
Yeah, it was versus Baltimore.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, so against Baltimore, Harris had a great game. Which arguably they were
Just
terrible at the
121
run.
yards, 22 attempts,
Yep.
no touchdowns.
Which I knew he'd be great that game because they were
Right.
terrible against the run. But if Tom Brady, looking at the schedule, thought he could do a better job, he would have stuck around. If he thought he could win with
Right. I'm throwing drama and
No, I
out the
get it.
window. You know.
Yeah, no, I get it, but I mean, for Tom Brady,
Like,
to
you
look-
can get into
Tom Brady
detail,
would
but-
be able to look and be like, well, that's a 13-3 season. I'm comfortable with that. Then he would have done it, but he probably looked and said, with what we have, I think I'm
So
going to go.
let
to
me,
Yeah,
let me
Myers.
ask you a serious question. Let me ask you a serious question. So the Patriots go 2019, right?
2019.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so
2019.
Brady's last year.
Yeah. So they don't lose to Tennessee. They beat Tennessee. They go on, maybe lose to Kansas City in Kansas City, or they go to the Super Bowl and they lose.
Wait, did they have the 4 seed then, or 3 seed? Were they the 3?
I don't know. I'm just speaking. No, they would have had.
I don't know.
They would have the top 2. No, wait a minute. Because top 2 got buys, so they would have been the 3 seed, either 3 or 4.
Hang on.
Because they would have had the wild card game.
Yeah, we played wild card.
Hang on.
But that's irrelevant to even what I'm even asking you. So they get past them, they lose in Kansas City, or they somehow win, they win the whole thing.
Titans,
Do you think
Chiefs.
that Brady wouldn't have came back?
So they would have played No, they would have played the Chiefs. Yeah, they would have played Chiefs. Yeah, they would have played the Chiefs after the.
So do you think if they just
'cause
came
Baltimore,
short?
Baltimore had the 1 seed that year, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So they would have gone to
second seed. I think was Pittsburgh, right?
No, second seed was Kansas City. So they would
Yeah,
have gone to Kansas.
okay.
We were 3, so they would have gone to Kansas
We
City.
went to Baltimore.
Okay, and then the Titans beat Baltimore.
Yeah.
in Baltimore
yeah.
that year.
Okay, so what I'm asking you is, if we came short, or if we won, do you think you would have came back last year? If you
What do
get past Tennessee,
If you get past Tennessee,
you lose the AFC Championship, or you lose in the Super Bowl, or you win both, or whatever. Do you think he comes back?
if you win against Tennessee and go to the next round and lose, no.
Okay.
If you get to a championship game or a Super Bowl, I think there's a much higher chance that he
But why do you think he comes back?
He would come back.
Why do you think he comes back? So that tells me if you really think he's going to come back, that drama.
It's tough. It's tough to make that determination.
Right. But if you really think that, then the drama and all the bull crap didn't mean anything then.
No, it did. I'm not saying it didn't.
So why would he come back?
I'm not saying it didn't.
Why would he come back?
We're having a different conversation.
No, I'm asking you a serious question. It's not a different conversation. It's the same. If he had all the bull crap and the drama, but he still won, why would he come back?
If he still won.
Yeah, because you're saying that the reason why that he didn't leave.
If they brought him weapons or whatever.
Right, but you're saying that the drama and the bull crap played into the decision.
I'm saying put the drama aside.
Right, but obviously that played into the decision,
discussion
right?
we were having.
But it played into the whole decision, right?
Yeah, but he's
right,
saying,
but I'm throwing that out the window.
I understand that. What I'm asking you is that played into his decision, right?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
So what's left for his excuses then?
What, for Tom's?
Yeah, for him not coming back.
His excuses for not coming back.
Yeah, what's left? No talent, right? What else?
I mean, that's in there, sure.
So what else?
The way he's been treated, the way he's been taking pay cuts year after year.
But that's part of the drama in the bull, right?
I mean, yeah.
That's part of the drama in the bull, right?
I would say the way he's been treated is more so not.
What's your point?
Weapons.
My point is that Brady didn't come back here because he didn't have weapons and he knew he wasn't going to win here.
Part of the
but
drama.
Yet we dog Cam Newton for the same reason because he couldn't win with the same weapons that Tom Brady couldn't win with.
Well, no, I'm not saying that.
What weapon do we go out and get in the offseason and go, oh, that guy's going to make a big difference?
You haven't listened to me this entire time.
No, I have.
My point is, Cam.
Your point is you think that Cam Newton's not going to win.
Cam is a bad quarterback. That's my point.
Okay, so then why does Bill Belichick?
I don't think he's a good quarterback.
Why did Bill Belichick give him $5
And I don't
million?
trust him.
So why did Bill Belichick give him $5 million?
That's a great question. Because he's cheap. Because he's cheap.
There's other quarterbacks he could have won with out there.
Yeah, that are better. That were better options.
He understands Cam Newton's drive.
Sure.
He's one of the hardest workers. He said himself. He's the first one in, last one out.
Yeah, how's he do on the field? He's 7-9 on the field. And he fumbles the game. He fumbles balls in the red zone when the game's on the line.
Okay, again, so
I don't trust him.
So back to my whole point here.
You can give him all the weapons in the world.
Okay, Ryan. So who do you get as a quarterback then?
How's Baker Mayfield doing with one of the best wide receiving core in the league?
Who do you get as a quarterback?
Huh?
Who do you get as a quarterback then? Who's better than Cam Newton right now that you can get?
That you could get? Watson.
You can't get Watson.
You could. You could.
Okay.
You absolutely could.
Okay, so what are you gonna trade for him?
Gilmore.
What else?
Next 3 years of picks. Why not?
What's that worth to you? What's it worth to you?
What's it worth to me?
To be in the same position that you just were? To not have a team? Yeah, because in 4 years,
you get Watson.
In 4 years, you're gonna have no first round picks.
Arguably, if you went and got him, and then
you get Watson.
Came out, you're really
you get Watson into this offense. You're AFC favorites. Plain and simple.
Why? Because he can throw the ball deeper.
Plain and simple.
Because he can throw the ball deeper.
Because he can throw.
Okay, so
and he's an accurate thrower, and he can read defenses, and he can diagnose blitzes,
so you don't think
and he can change protections, and he can do all that, which is what Cam didn't do all year last year.
Cam had nobody to play with.
Show me a play where Cam diagnosed a blitz, where he read a defense.
That's easy.
Where he could read coverages.
That's easy. Did you ever see the?
He was terrible, dude. Consistently.
Did you ever see the quarterback cadences?
Consistently.
He calls out the exact what he's going to do.
After week after
says,
week.
"Hey, watch this."
So what are you gonna do if he comes out and he's stellar this year? Are you gonna feel like not to say?
I'll admit I was wrong.
By the way, Curtis Samuel to the WTF football team.
Jets.
No,
WTF.
The Washington football team. Every time I see WFT, I always WTF, and I'm like, wait, what? Little side note there.
Right,
it's a
we gotta take the break.
I didn't even. God dang it. Okay.
What do you got?
Because we're focusing so much on Cam.
I hate these.
We're focusing so much on Cam, and I'm really trying not to put the full blame on him. I'm really not.
Because Cam's gonna get the comeback player.
I'm really not.
And everyone's gonna say, "Oh my God, he's so great."
You said that last year.
Yes, until he got COVID and had nobody to throw to.
Oh, Jesus, here we go. Now you're just making up excuses. You're making up excuses, man.
Listen to me right now. I will look you in the eye and tell you this. If Cam Newton comes out this year and he has an absolute horrible garbage,
I'll bet you $100 he's not the comeback player of the year.
And he doesn't do anything, okay, and if he's the same Cam Newton, I will admit he sucks.
Right,
until he has a full offseason with a new coach, a new offense, new scheme, has a whole offseason with his new team, all his weapons, and he has people to throw to,
how many
I'm not falling off the wagon.
This right now?
Yeah.
They're going 10-6.
9-7 at best.
9-7.
9-7. I see 9-7.
10-6.
Like borderline wild card team.
10-6. They'll get the wild card. Buffalo still owns the division.
Yeah, Buffalo wins the division. And you're neck and neck with Miami.
And I'll also tell you this: the first round draft pick's going to be a quarterback.
How long do we have for the?
We
real quick.
Soon,
real quick.
A minute.
really quick, because I'm trying not to put so much blame on Cam.
You are, though.
But I'm not.
You are.
I'm trying not
You
to.
are.
You guys keep baiting me into it, and I'm making points.
I'm
not
and I'm
baiting you at all.
making facts.
You're telling me that,
because
Brady would have had this, Brady would have had that.
Listen, I haven't been allowed to extend
Here's my
on
okay,
that
so
point.
extend on it.
I
So
want you
on
to
this year,
extend
this
on it
season,
after the
this
break.
upcoming season.
Extend on it after the break.
After the break.
Well, what I want to say to you real quick is I feel you. Ask Jess. After the last week, I said, thank God, goodbye, Cam, after we lost the last game. Couldn't wait. When I had time to digest and look and trust in Bill, I think that there's stuff we're not seeing. And I think that way too many people jump too quick because the GOAT, which I know he's the GOAT, I'm not arguing it, not sarcastic. He is the GOAT. Couldn't win with the same setup and a better defense. So clearly, you can't expect Cam to.
But he did
That's
win.
why they went out and shopped. If they thought Cam Newton sucked, they would have loaded on defense and said,
But he
let's
did win.
try to do something.
But he did win.
Cam Newton is here to groom the next
He had
quarterback.
5 more wins with a similar type of weapons.
100% better. 100% better defense. 100% better defense.
But he didn't blow games.
His defense saved most of those.
You also had 2 weaker teams in the division.
On that
top
note,
of that.
we're taking a break.
If you're listening-
508-222-1320. Don't go anywhere.
If you're listening, go to YouTube, type in Trey Lance. That's the next quarterback.
WARA 1320 AM.
Certain will go to probably
Sports Talk
Eagles
Radio.
at 6.
There's talks of them jumping up.
I know.
They're still going on over the break, so don't be surprised. They're coming in hot now. They've been going back and forth over the break, talking about what are the
I
Pats
still like
going to
Mac
do
Jones.
with round 1 pick.
Not at 15, but yeah.
Overall, who do they take? My perspective is I think they're probably going to go quarterback, but part of me thinks that Bill Belichick will pick a quarterback in the 2nd or 3rd round because he likes the fact of a quarterback needing him. Right? He hated Tom when Tom got self-independence. You get a guy in the 1st round, typically they're a bit stuck up and they believe that they're the next GOAT. So I think he's going to draft 2nd, 3rd round and be like, no, you need me. You were going to fall off. No one was taking you. I saved you. Now man up and do what I tell you.
Dylan, they won't.
By the way-
They won't release him. They have too much money tied up, and they would get too much in return for a
mock
trade.
draft has Trey Lance going in the top 10.
Yeah, Dylan, I can't.
In the top 10,
I can't
This one right
comment
here
on
alone,
whether.
Trey Lance, and the
including who? Lawrence Fields, that kid from BYU.
So,
Wilson,
Lawrence, Waddle, Lance. That's the majority of everything I'm seeing right now. Top 4.
Yeah, I can't comment on whether I think Watson did it. I mean, like we said earlier, 3 more accuses came out today, 4 total. They were talking about.
I still think
they're
that
talking
this is
about
a plot to
commissioner
get him
exempt
released.
list. You know, I don't know what it is. A witch
get him
hunt. If
released?
it's
Yeah.
true, a plot to get him released. I have no idea. They're civil
Would-
suits. They're not
you
criminal
think Houston
suits,
would
so-
really give up that big of an asset with the trade
so
capital?
here's
So
the
just
thing.
trades alone
Yep.
for what you could get for him, even with these allegations, like you could still pull a great trade package
So here,
for him.
See, I feel like if that was the case,
And you can't just
if that-
release him and not get anything in return.
If that was
I don't
the case,
see that happening.
they
So
would
let me-
deal him.
I don't
$13.
see
all right.
Caserio doing that.
So let me
I
ask
don't.
you a serious question. You don't find it suspicious that this guy's been trying to get traded for the last 3 months?
Oh, I know he has. Yeah.
He has again said that he wants to be traded. They're not trading him, so he says, "Okay, let me find a way to get myself released." Then
Oh yeah.
He doesn't-
I'm
he
not
doesn't
doubting
wanna
that.
be there.
No, I'm
You
not
know,
doubting
so
that. I
me
just don't think
personally,
Caserio
maybe
pulls
I
the
sound
trigger.
like a shit. I mean, a poop bag. I don't know if you can say. Can you say that?
I don't know.
All right, maybe I sound like a craphead. I don't know. If I was at a spot where I didn't want to be, I'd say to maybe 3 or 4 of my closest friends.
Nah, you wouldn't ruin your
Here you go.
credibility. like
But
that.
it's
Ruin
not.
your
But
credibility
it's
like
not
that?
going to, because guess what? Down the road, hey, I'm going to give you $500,000 a
All right.
piece. You're going to say
let's,
that
let's,
you know Houston
let's
gave
pump the brakes. Let's pump the brakes.
Houston doesn't lose on the deal.
Let's pump the
They
brakes.
do, because
they don't
now they
lose.
don't get the trade assets.
They didn't want to trade him. They were going to pay him to sit and
Okay,
to
but
teach him a lesson.
All right, but here's the thing. Either way, they still have to pay him, so they're not going to teach him a
They're
lesson.
not going to have
His
to pay.
money,
Most of his
money's
money's going to get
guaranteed.
freezed.
His money's guaranteed. It's not going to get freezed.
Yes, it is.
It's not.
It is,
He's
though.
going to show up, and they're going to just give him a fine for not playing, and that's it.
If he's
His
on the
money's
commissioner
guaranteed.
exempt
No,
list,
yes, now it will.
Let's pump
they're
the
gonna-
brakes.
Exactly.
Let's pump the brakes. In 2021,
If he puts himself in the
Deshaun
commissioner
Watson,
exempt
who's
list, he does them
been
favors.
so prior to these allegations,
Mm-hmm.
what has Deshaun Watson's image been?
Good.
Upstanding, speaks against racial injustice.
Mm-hmm.
He spoke against Tyreek Hill and the assault on that. And all of that stuff. You think he would really go behind the scenes and tell his
I'm
people?
not saying I personally think
to
that,
be
but I'm saying
like-
it makes sense.
Make a
makes
sexual.
sense.
Let's make a sexual harassment case and blow this up so I can get released.
Yeah, and then he
I
turned
just don't
around
see
and then
that
they clear his
happening.
name.
I just don't see that happening.
Either way, it's still good. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. Regardless, he's still gonna have this angle where
That's a big conspiracy theory
Yeah.
there.
Yes, but I'm not. Listen, it's 2021. First off, I'm not going to rule out anything, especially when it comes to crybaby sports professionals who aren't getting their own way. Okay, what I'm telling you is that this guy's been trying to get traded out of here for months, and they literally won't move him. He doesn't want to be there.
Right.
Doesn't want to be there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm doing everything I could to get the hell out of there.
I think
He's gone to them multiple times.
I think
Hey,
I
I'm
would
not
just
gonna play
not
for you.
show up and
I'm
get
not
a
gonna play for you.
paycheck.
I'm not going to play for you.
I don't know. It's tough. I just with Caserio being there, you don't just flat out release him. You don't.
No, I mean,
There's no way.
If that was
I will
if that
be-
was the case, they would send him to a team like Vegas who doesn't care about criminal records on players.
Can't go to
They
Vegas.
would-
Or Dallas.
Can't go to Vegas. You guys don't understand this. There's a contract that
Or
he's
Dallas.
tied to that these teams do not have money to pay him. And these teams are not going to just unload everything for him.
Unless he restructures, or
Yeah,
Houston takes
which
on
he's
some
not
of it,
going to do. He's
or
not gonna
Houston takes on
restructure.
some of the contract.
His cap numbers over the next 3 years. I mean, this one's kind of manageable. It's only 10, but the next
After
3
that.
years are
39,
huge money.
40.
Mm-hmm.
It's 35 to 41 million a year. That's terrible money. That's almost Mahomes money.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where again we talk about how we saw it. Mahomes cap jailed them. absolutely cap jailed them. They had to release people. You know what I mean?
And now Mahomes is already restructuring.
Yeah,
You're
year
Kelsey,
one in.
Tyreek, and Mahomes.
Yeah. Yep. And guess what? These guys are only going to continue to run out. They're going to lose Watkins. Mm-hmm. You know, so it would have been the same situation now with Deshaun. All these teams are looking and like, you know, yes, granted the cap goes up over the next couple of years, but there's
Kansas
still a
City's still not. They're still not as bad as New Orleans right now.
I mean, New Orleans is almost out of there.
New Orleans is doing all right. That whole Drew Brees thing kind of saved.
But you still have Kamara and you still have Thomas,
which
you still have Jordan.
I still think one of those two get traded.
And Lattimore.
I mean, they cut a ton of guys.
Yeah.
They cut a ton of weight.
They're working on it. They're working on it better than Kansas City is.
The problem is
Kansas City is still signing guys.
The problem is they're not going to be able to retain Kamara. They're going to lose all their value. They should have dealt them. Like I said to you the other day, I would trade them away.
I'm with you.
Get value because you're not going to retain them. You don't have the cap space to retain them. You're going to be in the process of rebuilding. They don't have a Super Bowl in sight for 5-6 years. So they should get rid of the talent they have and get money, get picks, get whatever they can get.
Yep.
Especially on a year where the cap's low. Like New England's in a great spot because they look great and they're gonna with their carryover.
They look
cap,
great this year with a
more.
significantly decreased cap, and now in the next year or two, they're anticipating the cap to make a huge spike, especially once this.
Yeah, because everything's gonna open.
You're in great shape.
No sports, it's gonna boom like crazy.
Mm-hmm. You're in great shape.
The counterpart is, I mean, New England carried 19.5 over. So like I said, they sat at like whatever it was, 204.5.
Mm-hmm.
Likely, I think next year's cap will probably be 215, 220.
Yep.
If I had to guess, it'd be 220.
I thought it was going to be 220.
They're only going
and then the year after that's like 230, 235.
What was the TV deal?
When that was last year, right? Last offseason?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's next year, I believe. Sorry to anyone.
Is when it kicks in?
Yeah, I believe so. So, I mean, you know, New England's in a great boat. And they knew they were going to be in a great boat, and that's why they waited for this year to do it. Other teams, though, it's going to be tough. And for Houston, I mean, they haven't won anything. They lost guys like JJ. For me, I mean, I could see them riding the ship for a couple years, letting him ruin his contract to where he renegotiates down and gets out.
I'll tell you one thing. If he doesn't get traded, there's no way Watson's going to sit now.
Why?
He's going to need all that money for all them lawsuits.
Oh, he's got plenty.
Are they all big money? I mean, the only thing going is...
How much are the lawsuits?
I think wasn't one like 30?
Mil?
20, 30?
There's a
Mil?
lot. Yeah. There's a lot that are seeking a lot of money.
Yikes. I mean, those are... I mean, anyone... I could go down and get myself a lawyer... and literally say Deshaun Watson sexual assaulted me.
This is from one of the Texans.
A deposition for $20 million.
This is from one of the Texans fan accounts.
Okay.
What makes you think the Texans are involved? It could be Watson's camp paying this woman to try and get the Texans to fold.
Not after 3 more games.
Telling you.
Not after 3 more.
I am telling you.
I don't think so.
Not after 3 more.
Build it as worse as you can.
4 women, you're talking about.
I don't know where you're seeing 4. I only see 2.
If convicted or if found guilty in a civil court.
It's not going to go that far. They're going to settle out before then. Oh, no,
okay, and he still looks like a serial rapist
guess what?
For sexually assaulting 4 women.
No, because it's going to come out that they dropped the suit and that they were wrong, and he's going to pay them for all the crap that they have to go through. And they're going to go off and they're going to live a great life.
Houston is not getting rid of him.
It is.
Houston's not getting rid of him.
Houston's not going to release him. There's no way.
I don't know.
They're going to ride this out in the worst case.
Where you have to release
worst case scenario, he's a commissioner exempt. They don't have to pay him much, and then he's out.
That would be the most shocking thing I think I would ever see.
Yeah, but I would not turn it down.
There's no way. I think that's Houston fans holding on to hope, or Watson fans holding on to hope. Look, even if he's not guilty on it, Houston's going to ride it out. If they wrote it this far, they're going to ride it out. And if he gets commissioner exempt, that's their best case. I mean, that's a great day for them because they don't got to pay. And then next year, they try to wheel and deal for a lower deal and get out of it. They have nothing. They're not going to win with him, and they're not going to win without him, so it doesn't matter to them. They're going to pay him money and try to regain, foundation in that team. Because if you get rid of him and you let JJ walk, there's just going to be too much. Everyone's going to want to walk. Everyone's going to want more money. Everyone's going to, I don't want to play here no more. Let me go. No. Houston's going to put their foot down and be like, that's not happening here.
So here's a problem with being on the commissioner's exempt list. That's paid leave.
It is.
It's paid. You just don't count towards the active roster.
Yeah.
So, if anything, that's a win-win for Watson.
When does Watson start getting paid?
He doesn't get fined.
That's the thing. Like, when does he start his base salary pay?
Well, base salary would be roster bonus.
Right.
You
So
have to be on
when
the roster as of the new year.
So they.
So he probably.
So he wouldn't go on the commissioner's exempt list until he makes the roster, months down the road, right?
No, because you're still actively
he's
on
still-
the roster
he's still
now. Because
actively,
right now,
okay.
Ross is going to be up to 72, I believe.
Okay.
So
No,
yes,
I'm just sincerely
yes,
asking
he
because
would
I don't
have to
know.
not be cut because he's still on the roster.
Okay.
The thing is that he just doesn't count as a roster spot, but you're still paid, so
Got
he's
you.
still going to get his full salary.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter whether it's this year, next year, whatever.
But he's not getting his salary right now, right?
No, he's going to be getting his salary. There's nothing saying that he's not going to be paid. Whatever he's guaranteed is what he's going to get.
Okay. All right.
The only thing he wouldn't get is his roster bonus, which is, I believe, it's either the last week of March or the first or second week of April.
Okay.
But as far as his guaranteed money, like what he's going to get from
He's already
checks,
gotten that.
No, at the new year.
Okay.
But that usually
from the new deal. From the deal he just signed,
that
right?
usually
Yeah.
also comes in game checks.
Okay.
So he's not going to miss any of that.
Got you. All right.
So again, it's kind of like a win-win for him because now if you're on the commissioner's exempt list and you don't play, you're not going to have to get fined for not showing up to play. Mm-hmm. And if you end up getting released, you win still because now you get to go to pick your team rather than, hey, I want to get traded to that team.
Right.
You know, I mean, I'm sure realistically, you know, this is the thing, right? So Deshaun kind of like put his own foot in his own throat because he went out and saw the two teams that he wants to go to. So like they have leverage now. San Francisco can call and they can say, okay, you know what, we want 3 firsts and give us Jimmy Garoppolo in a second, right? San Francisco can now sit there and go, well, you know what, I know he's not going to go anywhere else, so good luck trading him. Call me when the price is cheaper.
Right.
You know what I mean? Oh, I know he only wants to go to Denver too.
Yeah.
So they have leverage in the trade. If they didn't
course.
have that, they probably would have already traded for him. But San Francisco knows they can get him cheaper, and they're going to wait it out.
John Lynch is smart too.
Yeah.
I don't put that past him.
Yeah.
He's turned out to be a phenomenal GM.
Yeah, and,
Hey, he's built a hell of a team.
Casario,
And he knows how to build a defense.
Casario would like to have Garoppolo under him again, I'm sure. So I don't know. That whole thing's gonna be weird to see how it all plays out.
Yeah.
I really think Houston's gonna stick
Like,
to
I
their
don't hope
guns.
it's true, but I'm not going to rule it out.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because agents are dirty. That's what they do. They protect
Mm-hmm.
their guys. You know, and realistically, he's, like I said, been asking for 3 months now to be traded.
Okay.
I don't know. I got to do more research on the allegations, on who they're from, what the lawyers
Yeah.
are. You know, I got to see.
It's breaking
It's just
news,
stra-
so
and it's strange.
there's
to
a lot
me.
to sort
Again,
out.
it's much like a lot of these other cases where it's civil, not criminal.
Mm-hmm.
I guess a comparable one would be against like maybe Trump or
Okay.
something. You know, you have like they're all civil, not criminal.
I mean, not for nothing. I mean, look how the whole situation with Robert Kraft played out.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's different, but at the same time,
yeah, that's true.
I mean, that's great
hear
lawyers.
nothing
That's
else.
great lawyers going up against averagely paid
Little to
state
no evidence
prosecutors. Well, I mean, state prosecutors don't have the kind of knowledge $1 million attorneys have. You know, that's why like OJ gets off, right? That's
Yeah.
why Casey Anthony gets off. When you hire top tier lawyers, that's that.
All right.
Which Casey Anthony couldn't even pay her lawyer. That's another
Back
story.
Ryan,
to
another
our
day.
original.
Ryan's over it.
Back to
Back
our
to the
original.
break. Because we got one. 508-222-1320.
These breaks are the worst timing
Boy,
breaks of all time.
Stupid. What's going on, Elms
That's my theme
MVP
song right
Sports
there.
Talk Radio live in Attleboro, Massachusetts, WARA Studios.
It's my theme song right there.
All right, so some information on what we've been talking about here. So the 2 civil lawsuits have been filed against Deshaun Watson alleging inappropriate conduct during massages. On 2 separate occasions by 2 separate plaintiffs. The first lawsuit, which was filed Tuesday night.
I shouldn't be laughing. I shouldn't be laughing. I'm
well,
sorry.
It's just weird because like you said, it's related to Robert
I'm
Kraft.
sorry. Yeah, and I'm surprised he hasn't traded for him yet.
Right? It appeared on the Harris County District Clerk's website on Wednesday morning. Alleges inappropriate conduct at a massage therapist's home in Houston in March 2020. The second lawsuit is based on, filed on Wednesday, occurred on August 28, 2020. Lawsuits which were filed by Houston lawyer Tony Busby both allege that Watson committed civil assault when touching a massage therapist. I don't need to go into that. And he intentionally or knowingly caused physical contact with plaintiff when Watson knew or should have reasonably known the plaintiffs would regard such contact as offensive. So, little tricky. A little weird.
Wow.
Little weird.
Interesting. Interesting.
It's just weird that this comes out almost a year later. Well, a year later for one, almost a year later for the second. You know, I'm interested to see, you know, did they go back or did they have him come back? You know, are they aware of the situation, what's going on? You know what I mean? It's just a little weird.
Very weird.
A little weird. So.
Quite strange.
But I just, what's the chance of that? Because I never looked up into, like, what was going on. I guess it was like, oh yeah, you know, it's like Bob Kraft.
It's very funny that all of this is happening when he's trying to get out of Houston.
Yeah.
I get that,
Yep.
but like what provoked this? Like what?
The only thing I can think of is
baseless 6-figure settlement demand, and that this is about clearing my name, and I'm looking forward to doing that. At the time of his statement, Watson said he had not seen the first lawsuit.
Interesting.
Let's see. First lawsuit alleges that Watson booked a massage on March 30th, 2020 with a therapist who regularly works in her home. After leaving the room, the massage therapist alleges she returned to find...
So here's the thing.
Brian, stop it, dude.
So what I'm reading?
Just stop it.
So what I'm reading, it's bogus.
Oh, God.
It's absolutely bogus.
Your boy Brian's like, hey, him and Kraft can get those 2-for-1 deals.
Hey,
like, bro, come on, man.
It's a kid's show.
Oh, God.
So here's the thing. Now, there is a factor of why it's not weird that it's happening right now. So, if they thought, you know, if they were on the fence or whatever, and Watson gets traded and moves, in order to sue him, you must go to his state to sue him in his home state civilly. So it wouldn't, you know what I mean? They'd have to go wherever else and file the lawsuit. So if they think he's leaving, they file it now before he's gone. And, you know, that could be the reasoning behind that. Again, I don't know what happened. Maybe they're going to try to subpoena home footage, home
Could
recording.
also be the reason why he wants to be traded.
Maybe they're going to subpoena home footage.
But I don't know. It just doesn't add up to me. Doesn't add up. I mean, he's wanted to leave for 3 months now.
Well, I think if that's the case, you do 1, not 4. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm only seeing 2. I'm not seeing 4.
The other one just came out, like, when we broke it 40 minutes ago.
So who's, have we looked up anything on that? Because I'm only seeing the 2.
No, I didn't click the link yet. So if you guys want to ramble back and forth, I can look at the link. As
you have something you want to say?
Yeah. But it's not about Watson.
Okay, well, let's go. The floor is yours.
All right. So we're going to backtrack to our original debate that got us all these viewers. Ready? So simple. Just one question. Okay. No, I'm not. Okay. We're not going to dive. I don't want to dive too deep.
All right, go.
What's your confidence level in Cam Newton this upcoming season? Based on what you've seen, not just last year with the weapons, whatever. However you personally feel about it. So, and in past years, what's 1 through 10? 1 through 10.
Team? Or as in like his
for
personal
Cam,
stats?
For Cam, no, not personal stats, to where he can bring this team to the playoffs.
7.
Okay.
7.
Okay. Nick, how about you?
I would say just above mediocre, like
Okay.
50-50.
Nick, how about you? You're at 7 too?
Here's what it says.
You're at about 7?
I found it. Yeah, I'm probably about at 7.5. But here's what it says.
Okay.
Less than 24 hours after news came out about the disgruntled quarterback being sued by a woman who claimed he sexually assaulted her, there appears to be even more coming out now. Houston attorney Tony Busby says his law firm is filing the second of 4 cases against Watson on Wednesday. And yet another lengthy Instagram post. Busby says all of the women claim they were assaulted by Watson. He also revealed that he had been receiving death threats as well. My associate Cornello will now filed.
Wait, the women have been receiving death threats?
I think his law firm has.
His law firm has been receiving death threats?
He's saying that he has been receiving them.
Oh, the lawyer has?
He also revealed now that he had
children,
been
the blame for the
threats.
victim or a lawyer's mentality is alive and well. Never been a Texans fan, but I don't like it that much. Makes me shake my head that people are so passionate about football to the point of irrationality. I don't know. It's just weird to me.
He says, we won't share the details here, and we won't try the case in the press, but the cases are publicly filed for all to see. I appreciate the calls of support we've received. Yada, yada, yada. Takes a lot of guts going forward. I'm just trying to see. Yeah, he says, I have received multiple death threats, and multiple people have harassed my children.
Well, that's just boneheaded fans that just...
Well, that's what he's saying. He said he's not a big football guy, but he thinks it's ridiculous that people would threaten him and his family over
absolutely.
Something
absolutely.
like that.
That's stupid. Yeah, that's just utterly ridiculous that people would stoop to that level. Yeah, I mean,
during the massage,
people never cease to amaze you.
Woman claims that Watson kept directing her towards his genitals. And
I wasn't going into all that.
Said that he wanted the focus of his massage to be on his groin area.
He had a loincloth on.
Okay. Interesting.
She then says he exposed his you-know-what and purposely touched her hand on it with his hand grabbing her hand.
Interesting.
The woman claims Watson apologized via text message, but she did not respond to him. So we'll see what happens.
Drop the text.
If there's
Where's the text?
Well, obviously you're going to have to wait till court. But So the things are like that, or what I'm saying, if they subpoena home footage, if he's dumb enough to text somebody that, and like I said, if maybe she had mentioned it to the lawyer, they didn't want to go forward with it, but if she's got a good lawyer out of Texas and he moves elsewhere, they have to move there to file. So.
Mind you, this is the prominent Houston lawyer, Tony Busby, who was charged with a DWI back in 2016.
Hey, people make mistakes.
Also, he had $300,000 worth of paintings ripped off of his wall, and the lady that did it threw threw sculptures on drunken date with Houston lawyer.
Nice.
I'm not going to attack his character. He's just doing his job.
Yeah, he's doing his job. Yeah.
No one said lawyers are perfect. Nobody's perfect.
Of course not.
Oh, man. This is going to get good.
We've had some drunken fun. And that'll come in our podcast that's coming out. We're going to be working on a pilot episode.
Let the boys talk. We need to talk.
You're going to get drunk stories like Tony Busby. And have all sorts of fun. And we could give you the real thoughts on something
first
like
time
this.
going to the casino.
Can't wait.
Do it all.
Oh, my first time in Vegas. I can tell you about that.
Oh, Nick's first time in the casino was hilarious.
My first time in Boston Chinatown, left stranded. Yeah, there's that.
Nick's 18th birthday.
Plenty of strip clubs.
And it was just hilarious. Mm-hmm. He walked in so confident. And within about the first 30 steps, he lost that confidence.
Yep. Slipped and fell.
right down into the bottom.
Hey, save it for the podcast.
Right into the bottom.
Save it for the podcast.
And I was stupid enough not to sue Twin River.
And the best part is, he was stone cold sober.
Oh.
I was stupid enough not to sue Twin River.
Dang. While you were sober, nonetheless.
I mean, I don't know if you would have got anything, though, because you were walking down the part where there's not really a walkway. So
but I could have...
But there should you could have gotten a few grand, bro.
I don't know. I think it should have been. Why did you walk down the part where there's no walkway?
Listen, idiot. Twin River, at least give me $50 for my copay. All right.
There should have been adequate area to go down the hill, stairs.
Yeah, you know what they're gonna say? Tell me next time, stay on the sidewalk.
I would argue that there's handicap spots over there, and then making handicap people go all the way around.
They would say, yeah, because it's still untreated, uneven surfaces.
Doesn't seem adequate to me. I would have got some money.
You should. You would have.
7777777.
I'm about to call and listen. The statute of limitations ain't up on that. You're good. Send it.
Yeah, I don't know.
You got sciatica pain because of it.
Call the heavy hitter.
Call Jim Sokoloff.
All those commercials, man. They do their job. Whoever wrote their commercials, whoever wrote those commercials, man.
Jingles,
bravo.
man. Those commercial jingles.
Absolutely.
Morgan & Morgan for the people. .com.
We'll get you paid.
Or any of them. I remember all of them.
Every time I hear .com, I just think Expedia.
Rob Levine, the heavy hitter. All of them. Great job with the jingles. On that note, speaking of jingles, you got to take a break.
No.
Dude,
the last break.
Suck.
Jesus. Yeah, they do.
The last break.
Terrible timing.
These breaks are about as good as Cam Newton in 2020. This show has been as good as Cam Newton in 2021.
Hey.
No, this show has been about as good as Bill Belichick free agent signings in 2021.
Yeah, same thing.
No.
They're like neck and neck.
Money. On that note, we'll be back, by the way.
Cam Newton, name brand at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Break of the night. We're coming in on the final 19
Nick knows all about the discount brands.
We're coming in on the final 19 minutes. Don't go anywhere. MVP Sports Talk Radio Live.
You know what? Better yet,
Studios.
It's lit, fam.
you know what? Let's if we tone it down a little bit, you can only pay my portion of the rent, which is $650.
Minnesota
You have a roommate
Vikings.
now?
I have a roommate. Yeah,
Who's your roommate? Cool guy?
he's a guy that stayed with me and Giovanna for a couple months.
Oh, so
before
he moved back with you?
Yeah, he stayed. Yeah, he
I
stayed
thought you
until
said he
June.
moved out.
I thought he was going.
All right, let's
to.
keep this to the
Yeah.
podcast.
So
Minnesota Vikings signed Patrick Peterson.
did they really?
Nice.
1 year, $10 million deal.
Nice.
I didn't know he was a free agent.
You know what that means?
Interesting.
Pacers not going to trade for Kyler Murray, and they're going to send Stephon Gilmore to Arizona.
That just goes to show.
I'd love that.
That goes to show.
I know you
even-
would.
I'd love that.
That goes to hurt that defense I was just ration on even more though.
Yeah, like that Cardinals secondary was already depleted.
Team's junk.
And all,
defense is
all
junk.
they're doing is wasting money on guys like AJ Green.
Dude, you realize like when they lost Chandler Jones, their defense just tanked.
Yeah.
Who?
Arizona.
Oh yeah, I thought you meant like traded.
Because they had no pass rush at all. Yeah. Hassan Reddick's been terrible. Like, ugh. I don't know. That defense has a lot of question marks in Arizona. Either way. All right, where are we going? Where are we going? What are we doing? Free agent signings? We got 15 minutes, boys.
Let's talk about it.
We got 15 minutes.
Let's talk about it.
We got 15 minutes.
So what are we doing? What are we talking about?
We got 15 minutes. Let's because we haven't really given our perspective on like what we think these signings mean.
Okay.
Where's it going to go?
Signing?
Where are we going to go?
Want to grade every signing?
Sure.
Okay. So
the best signing.
I want to go in order.
Who's the best signing? Who's number one?
I told you. I think it's Judon.
Smith.
Well, that's your favorite. I mean the best.
Smith.
Jonnu?
Mm.
Why is he the best?
I think overall for what he's going to do for the offense, the price you got him for, as far as a needing to be filled, I don't think you. Don't get me wrong. I love the when I got Hunter Henry, but I don't think you needed.
What prompted Hunter Henry? You think they want to go back to that two tight end set?
Oh yeah, I think they definitely go back to 12 personnel.
Yeah,
because I feel like if they didn't get Hunter Henry, they probably would have traded for Ertz.
Okay.
Because they wanted that second tight end.
Okay.
Yeah, and I feel like after the quarterback comment, they probably weren't sold that they could get Henry.
I think that deal for Henry was actually. I applaud that deal.
That was a great deal.
Great deal.
$25 million guaranteed on a $37.5 million contract.
It's virtually the same as
on 3 years.
As Smith, it's 4 years for $50, and I think you have like maybe $10 million more that's guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
So realistically, it's the same deal.
Now, which I love because I told you when I showed you and Drew. When Bill hugged Hunter Henry, I think he's coming here.
Yeah.
That hug told me.
Right.
He's coming here. They just hugged and sat there and talked.
I think Judon.
And I think actually,
I like
I don't know if he's still watching. I'm not looking at the live stream.
Pro Bowls the past 2 years.
I think it was at Tim's house when I saw the hug, and I said to Brian,
12 sacks last year, 14 the year before that.
Let's run down the free agents. All
right, so here we go.
Great.
So first up, we're gonna grade them A through F. I don't think there's gonna be any Fs.
Are we doing pluses and all that?
Oh, yeah. I'll give you an F.
I'll give you an F.
All right, give a grade, and then give like a quick response. Your general thought. Keep it kind of quick.
Okay. Go ahead and clock.
You know what I mean? All right, so first we're going to go Jonnu Smith.
A+.
All right. Well, I want to do one by one, so do your grade and then your thought.
A. Johnny Smith, you needed the one thing that you needed to do was address weaknesses. You did that immediately, right out of the gate, Monday morning. Jonnu Smith, locked him up. You needed a tight end. That was a foregone conclusion. You got one of the best on the market. It was a great first move. Plain and simple. Jonnu it changes the dynamic of that offense.
Keep it brief.
Big time. Go.
Jesus. A+.
But that's pretty brief.
A+. I'm going to let his game do all my talking.
Yeah. I'm going to say
he kind of tailed off there at the end, though.
Keep it
last
brief.
year. Just saying.
Keep it brief.
Keep it brief.
Go ahead.
Chatterbox.
Okay, sorry.
Sorry.
Come
on, Drew!
Done.
A+.
Beep, beep, beep.
A+. He's a force. Going to be great for blocking. He'll be great for outside runs to Newton.
Mm-hmm.
And I think signing him first is a big deal because that's how you're going to get guys like Hunter Henry to buy in, throw on the fence. So yeah, A+. Cool. Now we're going to go up to nose tackle Devon. What is it? Godchocks. That's how you
from Miami,
that?
right?
From Miami.
From Miami.
Yeah,
B.
on a 2-year, $16 million.
Give him a B. Well, I mean, contract B+. Because you got him for good money. You lost Butler already. You needed somebody nose tackle in the middle. I give it a B+. Solid contract.
B+
for that type of player.
B+. Like his game. He's versatile. I think he's an upgrade over Butler.
I'm with you.
I'm gonna keep the trio going. I'm gonna say B+. I was thinking more B, but I think the contract itself is what gives that B+. I guess it was a good B minus. But 2-year, $16 million. I mean, that's gravy to get a nose tackle, a guy with experience.
Mm-hmm.
And they showed that he.
Are you really
well.
like?
You addicted to that now?
Yep.
Showed that he performed well against the run, so I'm happy we needed that.
Dinner.
And Corley Butler didn't want to stay. So next up, Matthew Judon.
A++. That's the best signing you made in this free agency period. You needed an elite, solid pass rusher, 2 Pro Bowls in the past 2 years, 12 sacks a year ago, 14 the year before that. Can play inside, outside, can play against the run, is great in pass coverage. A++, best signing you've made.
Tim?
A++. Addressed obviously an issue that we needed to cover. It allows you to use the draft capital elsewhere. I believe him and Winovich on the ends are just going to be too much for opposing offensive lines to handle. I'm
going to also say A++. Great signing. You need pass rush. You saw Tampa Bay showed you what great pass rush does against even some of the best quarterbacks in the league. And I think it allows you the ability to go out and draft deeper defensively to positions that you wouldn't have been able to draft before. You would have drafted probably an end this year, a pass rusher this year, and now you're going to look at maybe replacing a guy like McCourty or getting some linebacker talent. So, great.
Yep.
Next up is Jalen Mills, obviously D-back.
F. That's your F. Why? In Philly moved him to safety because he can't cover for crap. All right? And he still stunk in pass coverage as a safety and barely was a factor in run support. And you gave him, 4 years and $31 million, right? Something like that?
24.
24, okay.
9 guaranteed.
9 guaranteed. Whatever.
My turn yet?
Terrible. You don't need him. You didn't need him.
It's my turn yet?
Go.
I'm going to give this one a B-. Reason why I give that, versatile player. He's a typical Bill Belichick move. You can play him all around the field, slot corner, left corner, safety. I also think that this now allows you to bring Patrick Chung down out of the safety spot and kind of extend his career.
I'm going to say B-, C+, like right on the fence. Probably more C+. Gonna agree slightly to Tim's point of moving Chung, but I also think this is going to be a key player on special teams as well.
The only reason why I have a few friends that are like diehard Eagles fans, and they laughed at us for signing him because of how terrible he was in Philly.
I've always liked Jalen Mills.
Here's the thing.
Green hair. Now we can make it like red or blue.
Here's the thing. Philly doesn't know how to play football. They
beat us in the Super Bowl.
That's true.
And he actually had a decent game that Super Bowl.
All right, who's the next?
Like I said, they don't know how to use.
We'll agree to disagree on Jalen Mills. I don't think you needed him.
Next up, another Eagle. Your boy Nelson Aguilar. What you got?
Aguilar?
Yeah.
Just solely based on the year he had last year, which was a big improvement. I'll give it a C-. But okay, you know what? I'm gonna downgrade. Actually, I'm gonna give him a D-. You know why? Because Marvin Jones got signed in Jacksonville for like significantly less. I would have much rather had a guy like Marvin Jones than Nelson Aguilar.
What they gave him though? The terms weren't even released yet.
What?
Aguilar.
Who?
They didn't release the terms yet, did they?
They released the contract.
It's not
Marvin Jones
I think it's a good contract.
Marvin Jones got signed in Jacksonville for significantly less, and I feel like he's a comparable player and he's a better receiver. And he doesn't drop balls, They catching babies over here, unlike Nelson Aguilar,
Yeah, but
so we got a 2 year, $26 million.
Is that a quarterback?
Or sorry, 2 years, $22 million.
So I don't know. I feel like you could have had a chance at Marvin Jones, who's a much more established, much better receiver. I think. So I mean, whatever. You needed a receiver. D. I'll give it a D.
What do you got, Tim?
I'm gonna give it a B. I personally like Aguilar. I like the speed that he brings to the offense. I think his biggest issue and the reason
his speed.
The reason why he had trouble in Philly was because he wasn't always a sure catch, which obviously we know that we need. But I also feel like when you look up Carr's stats when throwing to him last year, he had a 100.4 passer rating.
Mm-hmm.
So
I was going to give it a C
a
until I thought about the Marvin Jones contract and was like, oh, you could have signed him for that.
So I also think that they try to find a guy, too, that could kind of help spread the field. Because, to use that whole point, if you have, the 12 personnel or whatever, you want a guy that's going to kind of take one guy off the top, right? So if they can open up the field a little bit for underneath. Because, listen, it's no joke. Like, the Patriots love to play
a majority of Nelson's routes are down the middle of the field, though.
Yes, but he's still going to open up underneath.
Whereas Marvin Jones can actually get separation, and he can beat guys one-on-one.
But you know what? We don't have a quarterback that can get the ball deep.
That's true.
So I really think that this is an offense. Again, this is why I say an offense built around Cam with weapons that allows for the underneath passes to the tight ends.
Okay.
And that's why the speed.
Grade?
I'm gonna go
Got to try and keep it brief.
C+. I think the Eagles didn't really know how to utilize him. He had a great year last year, and I think the fact that Jalen Hurts was
Not a lot of catches, though.
Yeah,
I
but
did notice
he
that.
was
Algalar didn't have a
clean.
lot of catches,
They
but a
also
good
had
amount of yards.
They also had a QB back and forth and the struggles and the woes there.
Mm-hmm.
But, Jalen Hurts working out with him this offseason kind of showed me that Jalen Hurts thought he was going to be the go-to guy. Obviously, things have now changed since, but that kind of bumped the grade up to me where I think he's going to be good here.
All right, next guy.
Who was working? Wait, hold on. What happened? Who was working with him?
Hurts.
Jalen Hurts.
Why was he working with him? What happened?
What do you mean, why?
What do you mean? What happened?
They were, working out,
Wait, what do you mean by go-to guy? I'm confused. What?
Because, that's the guy he was working with. Clearly, he thought they were going to have that, connection as they went in.
You thought the Eagles would sign Algalar back?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's why I was confused.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. So I'm saying,
Okay.
he clearly thought that they were going to retain him, and that would be his key receiver.
Okay.
Well, no,
They
he
were-
wouldn't have been retained. He would have had to trade for him or sign him.
No, sign him.
Sign
They
him.
would have
They
had to
wouldn't
sign him.
trade for him.
Yeah, but not retain him though. He was in Las Vegas last year.
Yeah, but sign him.
Well, I think he means retain him,
Yeah, but
bring
that's
him
why I
back
was
to
like, wait,
Philly,
what
bring
do
him
you-
back to Philly. is
bringing
what
him
he
back
meant.
to Philly. I
Okay.
feel like he thought that was going to be the guy.
He
They were
had
gonna
48
bring him back.
receptions for 896 yards, 8 touchdowns.
19.9 yards per catch,
Yeah,
something
which
like
is
that,
solid.
which he won't average here. But
No.
all right, next guy,
Kendrick Bourne,
C plus,
3-year, $22.5 million.
C plus, good contract, role guy, solid role guy. Again, like I said in the first hour, I think he's on that same tier with Jacoby Myers in terms of being a third option.
Okay.
I think it's solid, C plus.
Tim?
You needed receivers.
Yeah, I'm
Plain and
gonna go
simple.
C+.
I like him more than Aguilar. That's for sure.
I won't go that far.
I do.
I won't go that far. I feel like with him coming in, I think it's likely that Harry's going to go. So
Okay.
I think he's just a proven vet that can get catches.
I'm going to go B-. I think it's going to kind of supplement what we need, and I think if Edelman has a tough recovery out of the gate, it's going to kind of offset not having that key slot guy.
Hopefully. Hopefully.
And then I don't think that he fit a Jimmy Garoppolo offense, and I don't think they utilized him enough, and I think he's going to come here and earn his money, and he'll have a pretty good year. I don't think he's going to be a standout receiver, but I think he's a great supplement, and like any B student, not bad, not great.
Something like that.
I just have a question. What is the Las Vegas Raiders doing with the offensive line? They lose Trent Brown, Hudson, and now Gabe. That's 3 of your starting 5.
Draft.
Rough.
Draft.
Rough.
Rest in peace.
Maybe Derek Carr's
Rest
going
in
to
peace,
want
Derek
out
Carr.
of Vegas like Watson.
They were trying
I
to
don't
deal.
think Watson's going there.
Yeah, not anymore.
All right, and finally, Hunter Henry.
B plus. I don't think after the Jonnu sign, I don't think any of us saw that happening.
No.
After Smith got signed, very pleasant surprise. I was hyped about it. The only problem I have is that he was on a pretty potent offense last year. Didn't really perform too much. Granted, a lot of factors into that. Anthony Lynn's probably one of the worst coaches in the league, so I get that.
Worst cook in the league.
But I mean, when you had Jonnu already established in place, you had Keenan, Asiasi kind of still you don't know about them. So I mean, it was a pleasant surprise. Great. I'm not quite there to give it an A, but a B plus to be a complementary piece to Jonnu and kind of change that offense and give it a different type of perspective and flow and another weapon at tight end for Cam. I'm with it. B plus.
All right, Tim.
I'm right there, right with him.
Same grade, same thought.
Same grade and everything. Yep.
I go. God, I'm on the fence. A minus, B plus, but
Yeah.
I don't like copying. I'm gonna go A minus. I think he's gonna be a great element to the team. I think he's gonna be a big need getting that 2 tight end set up. I mean, you're gonna scare a lot of defense.
Here's the thing, though.
Just out of the gate.
So you have these guys, right? You have the guys like Aguilar and Kendrick and Mills, all that money that's tied up. What if you don't sign those guys and go after a bigger wide receiver like Galladay? Save that money on those guys.
New York, man.
But
get him Galladay.
Here's the
And
problem.
get a more That's
So here's the problem.
because these are like third options, fourth options,
Right.
like role pieces.
You wanna know why?
Where as a wideout,
I think
you needed
Janu Smith
like you still want a top tier guy
Here's the problem why.
because you can't throw.
No, none of that. They don't want guys who are going to cry when they're not getting the ball.
Okay.
They
And you
want-
think Galladay's that type of guy?
I think if he doesn't get his touches, yeah.
Okay.
I don't think he's as bad as like an OBJ or like a Juju Smith. Like, all right, Juju Smith's not coming here. He's going to demand the ball too much. If he doesn't get the ball, he's going to cry about it. The offense isn't built for him. Sammy Watkins.
He didn't cry about it last year.
Yeah, he did.
Not really.
Yes, he did. He was all having hissy fits when Ben was missing him.
Him and those receivers are
Yeah, but but when he wasn't getting the ball when he was open and things like that, he cried about it. Again,
on the sideline.
this team is not going to be a pass first option team. This is going to be a run
right.
first, control the clock. So Bill's getting guys who are system guys that give his offense advantages, like Aguilar, will allow him to open up the field. I think the Bourne signing alone was a little bit of a reach. I think obviously there was better talent on the table, but it's a guy who's going to keep his mouth shut, who's going to come in, he's going to work hard. That's what he wants.
barring all the signings that we've done so far. How much cap room's left?
That's about 20
Do we know?
20 mil.
Yeah, I think it's between 20 30.
But you also have $9 million
released.
that are already on the side for the draft.
On top
So
of
you
that,
got roughly probably about anywhere from 10 to 15.
Yeah, I mean, you
How
got
do you-
room to get a guy or two.
how important is it to still get maybe like a number, like a
Here's the
solid,
thing.
like
I would-
consistent number one guy
I would like to see Sammy Watkins.
Here's,
on wideout?
Here's
Okay.
the thing. So you have enough room, theoretically, to get a big weapon on a low first year with a heavy backdated couple years.
Yeah, but-
much like Watson, because the cap's going up a minimum 20, 30
You'd have
mil.
to use your void.
How
unit.
soon is Gilmore gone?
Well, if Gilmore's gone, you're clearing up what 15.
15, yeah.
So that's your thing there. I don't know if they don't retain JC or they overpay a bit for JC. Then
I think you need to
room
let the
for him.
JC Jackson ship fall before you can decide what
Right.
happens.
Well, yeah.
I think
We know that's
I
going to
think worst
happen.
case
I don't know
scenario-
what market value for Gilmore is though. It's lower than it used to be, so that's your issue.
So like,
Well, the problem is too is he's also injured.
what teams need a corner?
I mean, now Arizona.
Right, Arizona.
You could argue Cleveland. You can argue really almost half the league. Like the Jets
Yeah.
could use a corner. I don't think he's going to get traded within the division.
What about like contenders? Like
you could
bona fide
argue-
contenders.
You could argue like
Kansas
Baltimore.
City, maybe.
Yeah, but
Kansas City can't afford
Yeah,
him.
you would have to.
No way.
Yeah, there's
They'd
no
have to
way.
send you a bigger talent to free up money.
Kansas City.
If they
Else.
had Watkins signed for another year, then I could see that happening. But they don't have anybody to give and they don't have money to pay. They're done. But I mean, I don't know. It's tough. I mean, really, Arizona's the big fit
Where do
that
you
I
give
see.
them?
But who do you get back?
Who do you
from
get
Arizona?
back? They're not giving up
You're
any of the
just gonna
receivers.
get a couple picks. You're probably gonna get
I could see a couple
a
picks.
second and a
Christian
third.
Kirk, maybe,
Second.
because
and
Kirk's
fourth.
now like
Yeah,
a
but
fourth option
Yeah,
on
but
that
he's
team.
not your number one. What like? how
No,
do you become a
but
better
you don't-
team?
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna get picks.
what kind of haul do you want for Gilmore?
Yeah, but you're not gonna.
Do you
you're
wanna
gonna
just
get
free up
picks.
that cap
Yeah, you want to
space?
free up cap and get picks. Too many guys out there to buy.
Could you get a first for Gilmore?
No,
No, you're gonna get a second and a fourth.
I think even a second's a reach. I think a third.
Even for a premier corner, huh?
Yeah, because right now he's
mean,
he's injured.
He's injured. Didn't have.
He's got a
he had
calf
an alright
issue.
year.
Technically, we don't even know if we even be able to trade him. He's going to go pass a physical. How do we know he's going to pass a physical?
He had an all right year.
He's been really quiet.
Yeah, because he's in rehab.
And we don't
He
know.
knows what's going on.
And then again,
This happened,
Is
if
he
you remember
though?
correctly, he was quiet before he got the last contract extension.
Mm-hmm.
He was real quiet. When he was like underpaid and they're like, oh, we're going to give you a boost.
I'll give you like here's a bonus for this
Yeah.
season for winning
Yeah.
player of the year
And
and,
again-
all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
echoing that, he's got a year left. So most teams that aren't full contenders that want him, they'll just wait the year.
Yeah.
Go
Get him
battle
cheap.
free agency. Know he's healthy. Know he can play a year.
So keep him.
So
I don't see him going
I don't
through
see
the rest
him-
of the year. I think Bill knows that he can at least get a fifth, fourth round pick for him.
I think
if worse comes to worse.
they're either going to deal him cheap or they're going to restructure.
Think about it. By week 7, I mean, at this point, there's so much money next year. Like, from what I've seen, there's so much money already tied up next
It
year
really is.
that he's not really going to have the cap that he had this year.
No, not
So
even close.
there's some chips that need to be traded. Like, you might have McCourty come off the books. Next year, yeah.
He'll probably
Devin?
retire.
Yeah, next year.
Next.
He's a big hit. He's paid $11 million.
Oh.
And I'm not-
Sorry,
I hate
I
to
thought you
break
meant
it
they
to
were
you.
going to get rid of him. Okay.
Listen,
yeah.
if they find something or if they get something dropped to them, He could be a cap casualty.
This might be McCourty's last hurrah.
Both
of them.
He could. I don't think Jason's coming back
This year?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think Devin plays without him.
Well,
I don't think Devin might not be on this roster.
If they find decent talent for better money, they're going to take him and they're going to get rid of him. He's 11 mil hit.
Devin is?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And you're talking 4 mil less than Gilmore.
I think he's a...
I don't know.
Cap casualty. I already called the first one. Everyone thought that I was crazy when I said that they were going to trade Marcus Cannon. They're not going to do that. He's a stud.
No, I saw that.
Casualty.
I agreed with you.
Casualty. You proved last year you don't need him to play.
I agreed with you.
You know what I mean? It's just sorry.
Offensive lineman, dime a dozen.
Yeah, sorry. You've been here since 2011.
You traded for Trent Brown, for gosh sakes.
Amen. And on that note,
good show, boys.
Flew.
5 minutes
Yeah,
over.
it did.
I cannot wait.
Too many breaks, man.
I cannot wait for the 10-6 Cam Newton-led Patriots to go to the playoffs.
Can't wait for 9-7 and maybe hopefully make the playoffs.
They're going to make the playoffs. It's a playoff team.
The mentor versus the protege, Super Bowl Patriots versus Tampa Bay.
That would be something.
Who's going to win?
Out in L.A.
Who's going to win?
I got a place to stay.
I'll tell you what, if it's the Patriots and Bucks in the Super Bowl and Cam Newton gets them there, I'll eat one of these for free.
Ooh.
For free. No rent payment, no nothing. I'll eat it for free.
For everyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, we are talking about some good old 70-30 pharmacy wipe IPA wipes. And they're for industrial use only.
They're very strong.
Good news is, if Ryan eats one, he probably won't have COVID.
On that note, MVP Sports Talk Radio, thanks for tuning in. One final happy birthday to Drew's son, Luke. We missed you tonight. On that note, tune in next week.
Yummy.
Tune in next week and keep an eye out for Let the Boys Talk podcast pilot episode. Getting scheduled and dropping soon. Stick around. We love you. Thanks.
Yeah.